Nope. Nope. Guess not.
Oh, we believe in you.
What? Yo? What'd you
So
say?
yeah, we're live.
Okay. Well, no intro, I guess. People are.
Oh,
Wow.
Nikki's slacking this.
Wait, where's Stebo though?
I'm right here.
We'll start though, man.
Go on then.
Stebo, do it.
Yeah.
Oh, we live.
We'll just give it.
Outer Haven.
Assemble.
There we go.
Oh God.
Well, I was up for it, though. Anybody feel me,
and
man?
I forgot Nikki's. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
So guys,
So this week we're gonna obviously be talking about chapter 852. So yeah, we're gonna start with that. If anyone wants to jump on the chapter after the bat, the first page.
Oh, okay, we're going for it first.
I mean, just kind of like chime in whenever you want to.
Oh, okay. I was about to give my like overall thoughts on it.
Okay. Well, yeah, whatever.
Wait, hold on. Are your thoughts positive or negative?
A bit of a mixture.
Okay.
Because like I like the whole Reiju and Sanji stuff. I thought that was quite good to see. And I like how they gave us a bit more information about Sanji's mom and like her name and stuff, because her name like kind of links to something that we saw way back, but we'll probably get into that a bit later. But like I feel like it kind of skipped out on a bit too much for me to call it a good chapter, especially, well, it was a good chapter, but it skipped out on too much for me to call it a great chapter, especially seeing as like we just came off of a break and then we're going back into a break afterwards. It wasn't really like enough to satisfy anything, because like we didn't hear anything from Jimbe, we didn't see anything from Brooke, and like all of these things with like the handcuffs and stuff like that, it's kind of like skipping out on a lot of things. Like that could have been like a great story, like a plot point, but then they just kind of made it irrelevant.
What would you have wanted in it to like up it to make it better for you? Like, what would you have liked to see? Because I was
I don't
personally
know.
that we were gonna see Sanji meet Luffy at the very last chapter, or page, sorry.
Yeah, I can't really say what I would have wanted to see, because I mean, what we did see would have been alright if they had delivered it a bit better. Or like, for example, like the whole handcuff being fake, like that kind of pissed me off because it made me kind of lose faith in the arc a little bit. Because like that was one of the things that could have been great. Like, for example, Brooke fighting Big Mom now, yeah. Imagine if they made it so that he's putting so much work in just to get the keys for the handcuffs just for Sanji. Like, they could have done something like that, but then they just made it so that that whole thing's irrelevant now. Like, he's been sitting there moping about it for literally no reason.
So what you're saying is it feels like a cop-out.
Yeah, it literally was a cop-out, yeah.
The only thing with that, though, I would say personally is like it kind of goes back to the idea of like Reiju actually caring about Sanji versus just kind of like doing it out of like a blood bond, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Like how she's like, "Oh, I'm never gonna help you again," but she kind of did by doing that.
Yeah, she
But
did. But what I'm saying is
like
like
side trip.
yeah,
Doesn't turn
and then
into
especially
just a
like
cop-out.
she took so long with it as well. Like they've had moments one-on-one before. She could have told him then, but she didn't. And then like one, where did she even get these fake handcuffs from? Two, she clearly stated that she can't do anything to disobey Judge. Isn't giving him fake handcuffs directly disobeying Judge?
Exactly.
Like it didn't make sense at all.
Oh. Yeah, like for me, this chapter, like it was decent. Like you said, though, like, if I were to rate it, I'd probably give it like a 5 out of 10, just because like there wasn't a whole lot that happened. It was just kind of like going back on Sanji's mom, which I didn't mind. It's kind of like up for it. Not gonna lie, the funny part was later on when Luffy was doing the gum strangle, choking the dude out, trying to find out.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah.
Other than that, though, like there wasn't like anything crazy that we didn't really know besides like I guess the miracle drug, as they call it, which was kind of interesting. But yeah, there were small details like in the chapter I'll talk about later. I don't know if you guys want to rate it yourselves.
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a fair rating.
I give it 4 out of 10.
Oh God, why?
Okay, how come?
Well, I mean, like I wasn't really. This is like personal stuff too. It's not like all plot holes and stuff. But you know, the stuff you mentioned earlier with the cuffs felt like a cop out, and this Reiju and Sanji stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was feeling it, and his mom being like this nice person. It's like a cliche I've seen like a billion times in One Piece. So I wasn't too excited about that.
You thinking that Oda was a little bit rushing that with the handcuffs?
I don't know what's happening. I just know I don't like it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
get what you're saying.
like the whole thing with the handcuffs, like I get that, like you guys are saying it's kind of a cop out, but just imagine if they were still real and they had to get the keys from Big Mom. Like Sanji would never leave.
I don't
You
know.
know what
Big Mom's crew is pretty trash.
Exactly.
You can just walk back.
I don't know. Jinbei said, yo, she has many reliable underlings. So
After
Like
he
they
just
lying
one shot
through
one
his
of them, yeah.
teeth.
He just one shot someone that was meant to be guarding Big Mum's precious prison. He just got one shot.
But
yeah,
that's Jimbe.
On that note, do you guys think there's going to be actual alliance members like Whitebeard had, or do you think it's just straight up her like family and like maybe they're
I think
Well, I mean, we
her
already know
Oh
the
wait,
opponent
for
is
the wedding,
Fishman.
you mean?
Well,
I
just
think
in
she gotta
general.
have alliances because I mean,
Well, not the
it's
marriages
already
alliances.
it's already been stated, but through the marriages,
Yeah.
she's
Right, that's what I'm
alliances.
saying. That, like besides the marriages directly, right? Like obviously, like for instance,
Even
like
even
Jinbei.
besides the marriages, I mean, it's got to be some sort of alliances that she has. Like
I
look at
disagree with
Jinbei's
that.
crew.
I disagree. I feel like, oh, okay, wait, yeah, you're kind of right with that one actually.
I was just wondering because
All
like,
the married people are on her island already. Like they seem to be part of her crew.
that's
Kind
why
of.
like because
I
I
would think
assume
they're like other people. You
I
know.
would assume right if Big Mom like for instance just random thought would be like if Big Mom had married off one of her daughters to like someone from Kano, right? And like it was like a top tier person from Kano, let's say just Danchinjo, right? Let's just assume it was Danchinjo. I'd assume then Kano indirectly is like an alliance member of her, right? So that's kind
Yeah,
of how I
isn't that
see
what
it with
happened
her
with
alliance.
Jinbei?
Yeah, that's like with
Like with
Aladdin, right?
Aladdin?
That's
Yeah.
why I kind of like assumed. But I was saying like besides those people, do you guys think they have any, or do you think that's the only way that she does it? Is like she
I mean-
only like, blood bonds them?
Yeah, I feel like it's only the marriages. I don't think there's anything other than that.
yeah.
Well, I think it's marriages to be like a part of her crew because that's what they said, right? Like anyone working directly under Big Mom on her crew has to get brought in through like
Which is how
blood
Capone
ties.
had to get married, right? That's
Yeah,
kinda-
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, like, in order to join her direct crew, you have to be related to her through blood or some type of marriage or something. Like, I don't see why she wouldn't have like allies. You know, like she's one of the Yonko. Like, I would assume that she had like, it's because they said it before. It's either you join up with them or you have to face them, right?
All
The
right.
majority of people
Yeah.
like sailing the sea, I could see like would want to join up under one of the Yonkos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe like in Jinbei's
Yeah.
position, because we know like he was a former warlord, do you think that like he got his position with Big Mom just on the status of being a former warlord? Or like do you think he ended up getting like married to someone else? Because the way we're looking at it right now, like Aladdin got married to that shark girl, whatever, right? So like and he's like the vice captain
Right.
technically of the crew, whereas like Jinbei's like the leader of the crew. So you would think for him to join up with Big Mom, he must have gotten married or like possibly like the warlord status.
I think it's just a fact that like because Aladdin was like his close ally, it'd be kind of like if Luffy were to go in, right? I think it's kind of like Aladdin's the closest position, right, to the captain that like Jinbei chose not to get married and then just allowed Aladdin, like they made an exception to allow Aladdin to get married.
Yeah.
It kind of the way that like when they said in the very beginning, like if Sanji were to get married, like Luffy and the Straw Hats would be under
Right.
Big Mom.
Yeah.
Even though Sanji's not the captain, they're like, yo, your whole crew is gonna, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna be working
represent
for
that
us.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know how you said that everyone has to either be part of them or like against them, right? I feel like she kind of
Yeah.
uses that to her advantage. So I don't feel like she sees it as in, oh yeah, I'll put you in the alliance. It's either like you're the main crew or you're against us. So like she uses that to her advantage, like her status, because she's a Yonko. So people would it's either like a life or death situation. Obviously, everyone's gonna pick life, unless you're stupid like Luffy.
Right. And
But then who's getting invited then? You know what I mean? Because like for the wedding, it would mean like everyone that she has ties to is already on like in her territory. But for the wedding, they
Yeah.
made it kind of like they're inviting people that aren't on Whole Cake Island to come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of the only
like-
reason why I think it would be like other people as well as allies.
right to like show their power and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the chapter then. So I don't know if you guys want to start with the front cover, like with the drawing of Chopper with Robin. One thing that I know is people started noticing
art.
was, oh what?
That's
I miss
high art.
Yeah, right. But one thing people started noticing was the fact of the crocodile next to her, and she's like kind of refusing the check or whatever when he's trying to buy it out. It's the fact that like that would be crocodile because Robin's ties to him.
I think you're looking
Yeah.
too far into it. I think it's just a crocodile trying to bite a painting.
Makes
But
sense.
and then someone posted that
That's
that
fine.
I can't say the name, but the painting on above it, right above Chopper's painting, the like name for it is what Robin I guess used to say, which was like you know how like she makes the dark jokes, right, all the time. Like that would be her Japanese, like that's the Japanese like official way to say it, I guess. Is that? So I thought that was just kind of like a neat like tidbit that someone pointed out.
Hmm.
So that there's really not obviously not much there. The first panel though, like, you guys have anything interesting to say about it?
Well, I mean, like, most it gives off right there is that Reiju's in the infirmary, right? And she doesn't know exactly what's going on. In comes Sanji, however, and sees that security-wise isn't too big of an issue. Comes into play the next page after. But it kind of does feel weird, though, when you see, like, Reiju in that kind of position, given her character. I mean, concerning, like, the events that kind of happened, I wouldn't think, like, to see her in that kind of mind state, given even what happened.
And Cracker being there.
That's what I was thinking, but like I guess because it's like guests and stuff, right? Like they probably want to separate the two just in case if there's like tension.
Well, they say the fourth floor, right, is above it, right? So I'd assume like maybe that's where Cracker and them might be. Because
Yeah.
it's funny because like kind of going ahead is Luffy I think is on like the second floor right now. And he's going up to the third floor. So I'd assume if they're gonna eventually escape, they might actually run into Cracker on the fourth floor, maybe. But we'll see.
Reiju's eyes in this look really hollow. Like looks like she's got lifeless eyes.
She kind of looks like she's like got fucked up and she doesn't know where she's
Yeah.
at now.
She still
Looks
looks
like she got her
though.
memory erased.
Yeah. I wonder why that
I'll
is.
give her that.
So like, how do you think Sanji thought this was gonna play out though? The fact that like he kidnapped a guard in a sense, like he tied the guard up on the next panel, like or on the
I
next
don't
page.
Tied
know.
him up and he
Do you think
gagged
they
his
even
mouth.
oh wait. Do you think they know that it's him though? Do you think the guard actually knows it's him?
I would assume like maybe, like, but I mean unless he
Like he went
like
in.
speed blitzed him, like
Unless he did some
Yeah,
assassin
and then
type
just put him
stuff.
outside.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
He has no eyes, so he probably doesn't know.
But the second page, the one thing that like stood out to me was the fact that there's two mirrors right behind Sanji.
Yeah.
And the fact
Yeah.
that we know that Chopper and Kara are looking for them right now. Like, do you think they're gonna like end up seeing him right now?
Maybe.
They
Super
should be
positive.
able to, yeah.
I hope they do. They need to speed up
Oda's
that
been
section.
teasing us too much with that for
Yeah,
it
they need to speed up
for it
that
to get
section.
wrapped up in some sort of other way,
Yeah.
Right.
like
Do
the
you guys-
handcuffs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to talk about on the second page? The second page?
I mean, like Reiju's legs, man. I mean, like she can still get beat up, and like she's still looking 10 out of 10.
And Reggie said something about the soldier screaming about an invader. What do you think she's talking about? Because she can't be talking about herself, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that is interesting. Yeah.
Probably they're talking about Luffy or Jimbe, maybe. I mean,
He was already caught.
it's fake though.
Wait,
'cause-
what? What did you say?
So he's talking about the middle panel, right, where she's like, "Oh, I was walking around the
Yeah,
castle."
wasn't that the memory that
No,
they didn't
that's
put
what
into?
they
Yeah.
put in there. Yeah, but like
Oh, yeah.
he's saying, like, who do you think the invader like would be referenced for that?
Oh, okay.
Do you,
I-
do you
like,
think
I
they're
was-
talking about Jinbei?
I think it was either Luffy or Jimbe. I think it was Luffy more so.
I'll probably go with Jimbe, I think.
Because we don't really know how this lines up as far as the time goes.
Yeah.
So
We should be on the same time right now, like where the current events are, but like I'd probably go with Jimbe.
but yeah, logically, you would want to say Jinbei.
Someone real quick, Bao was saying, where do we think Judge and the other Vince Smoke brothers are? Because last time we saw them, they were on that table, like in the kind of like guest room or whatever you want to call it. And back then, like I was looking at the clock, and I think it was like 11 o'clock or something like that at the time. And so I'd assume like it's late right now, so they're probably wondering where she's at. But I would assume that because they're like comfortable enough, they probably assume that like she's fine and just walking around. So I don't think they're searching for her right now.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like if they go and inform her that she's, or inform them that she's in an infirmary, that's gonna be what's gonna be interesting.
I don't think we should put too much stock in the time that's displayed on those clocks, though. Because I remember seeing one panel, it was like a few clocks that had a few different times on them.
I just don't. I've been kind of trying to keep track of time was that, and looking at like the darkness, if that makes sense, like the storm clouds and stuff.
Yeah.
One thing would be interesting though is if they do inform Judge, right? And we know Luffy right now is on his way up to this floor. Is if Judge actually meets Luffy before they meet Sanji,
That'd be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
because he would know about Yanji, obviously. and then he would meet Judge, and like it would be interesting because I feel like it'd be kind of like one of those moments where like he calls out Judge for being a dick, and then they might fight.
No, I don't
Because
see
one-
fight Judge. What do you think would happen if he was to fight Luffy? Like, how do you think that would play out?
Right now,
Yeah.
Judge should like win just because Luffy already said that he was exhausted.
Oh yeah. Oh, Luffy's an idiot.
That plus two, like people underestimate Judge too, just like the whole scientist thing. I think like it just goes with his character, like just being a dick just to be a dick.
The mad scientist. But yeah, so really the one thing that is interesting is like the next panel where we go, or the next page, sorry, where we get the fire. So do you think
Yeah.
that that's the only way they can free people? Because I'd assume they put just water on it, like seawater or something like that.
Yeah.
And
I
just-
asked that question as well because it feels kind of weird to me that they set the book alight yet not everyone in there is dead. Like they should have died because they're in cages. Like you're trapped in a
Yeah.
cage and then it's basically like the whole prison getting set on fire. That's like you're dead. I don't know how they're not dead.
I mean, this is One Piece.
I think the thing is with the fire, I think everything burns because it's literally inside of a book.
So if they were to
It's
shred,
like
if
it's
they were to
on
like put
paper.
the book through a shredder, what would have happened?
They would have died probably.
I don't think they would have died either. Well, no,
No, I
maybe
think they probably
because
would,
because they were still
Well,
set on
first-
fire. So
First, you would have to find
yeah,
a
they
big
probably would have
shredder.
died if they would have put
Yeah,
through
they
a
would have
shredder.
been cut. Even if they didn't die, it'd be like a lot like style thing where like they're cut like into multiple pieces and just stuck
Yeah,
on the page.
yeah.
Maybe I don't know, but like I was assuming I was laughing when I saw the bucket, bro, because it's like Jinbei, Knight of the Sea, using like the Master of Fisherman Karate, using a bucket of water. But yeah, I just thought that was kind
You
of
figure
funny.
you conjure or something like.
Yeah. And then like people talk about like, you guys really think Luffy's tooth is now gone permanently? Because like people have still been talking about that.
I think it
Nah,
is, but I
this
think
is
it's gonna come to the point where probably like Chopper's gonna come in
Yeah.
like somehow figure a way to fix it.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
Well, I mean, unless he
He'll
picked
be
up his
back by the
tooth.
next arc.
Oh, that'd be nuts, man. He probably gets his own tooth, puts it right back in before he fights Big Mom. Like, come on.
Torgo level stuff where he's literally just regrowing limbs and stuff. But yeah, like I think it'd be, I don't know, like to me it'd be stupid. Like he looks weird without a tooth. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he's going for the pirate look.
Probably after this arc, he will get his tooth back when they are at the ship.
Aren't you guys
or
the one
something like that.
complaining that there aren't enough scars in One Piece?
Yeah, but missing a tooth is different from a scar. I'd rather him like have a gash over his eye than have a scar. I mean,
Yeah.
then
He already
missing
has a
tooth.
gash under his eye.
Is he not gonna be Mac
Like
and
over his eye, like a massive, like sort of. I can't think of someone. You know what I'm trying to like a Shanks
Like
type
Smoker.
scar, yeah, like a Shanks type thing. If he had that, I'd prefer that to
Like
him
Smoker.
missing a tooth.
So do you
He
guys
looks
think
more like a pirate with a missing tooth, though.
If it was a gold tooth, then yeah, not a completely missing one.
He's trying to be like Teach.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know.
do you guys think
Pirates
that
had terrible
Jinbei's-
hygiene.
I find it funny how they just let all these other dudes burn.
Yeah,
I thought that was
I mean, they're
hilarious too.
prisoners.
I mean there was no Capone in there as well. People saying that Capone was going
Jinbei
to be
straight
there.
savage.
Unless
I
like
saw-
they plan to put him in the book.
Yeah, I
maybe.
thought because you can see way back. I don't remember.
I
what
thought it was
chapter.
going to be a relative of Capone. That's what I thought it was going to be.
But
Maybe.
do you guys think that they're gonna burn or like free the other prisoners and stuff, or do you think it's just gonna be Luffy for now?
No,
think,
they just
I
left.
think,
They
I'm
already
pretty sure all of the books have been burned pretty much.
No,
Yeah,
they
they're
just did
already
two.
out.
No, this was just only
Just
two
did
books,
two,
right? Or one?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
you can only see 2 books being burned. The rest of them are still there. And I was thinking
he
it'd
even
be
said
funny
there
Yeah,
was
there's still some
later,
books on the shelves. It's like hundreds of books in
Yeah.
our shelves.
Okay.
because I think it'd be funny later if Chopper and them come and like they're looking for Luffy in one of the books, and they just keep freeing like people after people after people like with the bookmark later.
Or they
Or,
get put inside the prison books.
Yeah, they're just trying to find them, and then they keep freeing like all the monsters. Because there's a book with like a bunch of impaled down creatures in it, and like it'd be
Yeah.
funny if we like saw someone like Mr. Two or something crazy like that there.
Yeah.
You never know.
Not to mention like the centaur and stuff. Like obviously you see like Chopper talking to different animals. Like that would like make so much sense.
Yeah.
Centaurs are just humans, but I get what you mean.
Well, I mean, like what was the lion guy or whatever? What the hell his
The
name was?
Manticore.
The Manticore, yeah. Like if it talks like animal talk, whatever, then Chopper can like speak to it.
See,
What
I
page
want
are we
those-
on?
I want those to come back because I want Luffy to see them again and remember all this stuff.
Yeah, we're on page 6 for those following along.
Yeah. We're about to, I think, jump to the next page. Is there anything else you guys want to top on that page? Because I don't really see too much like things.
I'm changing
Page
clothes about
5,
them.
right?
Well, I'm on 6 right now. But the other thing I was going to top on. Oh, go ahead.
It's
Sorry.
something dripping from the balconies. I don't know if that's been there.
It looks like cake. I think it's like the frosting or whatever.
That's what I'm thinking it is.
But what do you guys think about where Jimbe says his, talking about Mondior? He's like his world of books ability is as infinite as his imagination.
That's insane. I always thought this
Yes.
guy's like devil fruit was powerful, but I didn't really think it was like infinite like that.
Have
That's
you guys
crazy.
have you guys ever seen Bleach? Like the chapters, like the more recent ones, like the last arc with the
Nah.
No,
Stern
I don't
Rider?
read Bleach.
Well, there's a Stern Rider basically, and like his name is I, and it's imagination. And it's literally whatever he imagines he can create.
Are you
Like,
talking about
that's
Grimmy?
Oh my god.
I don't know, but that's like an interesting thing to me. Is I was thinking about that guy and how crazy the stuff he did.
Yeah.
And like if that's like the case with Mondior, he can actually like make anything. Because I assume at first when I saw him, I assumed that like he had to have a book, right, like already made, and then like whoever's in the book, he can like take out or put people inside that book, and that's how it works. But if he can like actually create the books themselves and make whatever he wants in it, that's pretty OP.
Yeah, that'd be
Imagine you
mad.
did, but I won't.
So I don't know if you guys want to jump to page 7 then.
Yeah, Captain.
So this page confirms that Opera was trash.
He's knocked out.
Yeah.
I wish Nicky
Absolutely.
was here. He was the one saying that he wasn't one shot, wasn't he?
Most certainly.
Oh, he's done, man. Like he's done for the count.
No, he's definitely been done.
He's definitely been one shot. That's what I'm saying. I wish
Before we
Nicky
get to
was
Opera, let's talk about Nami, man. Like she looking good right now.
here. She changed clothes.
I don't
Yeah,
like her
but-
pants. They're too big.
It reminded me a little bit of what Pudding was wearing
That's
before,
what I was
the
gonna
puffy
say,
pants
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, like
She got on
The
hammer
leggings.
pants.
Yeah. I'm not gonna like the small detail I've always talked about in the last couple like streams is that little book on the bottom panel on the bottom left, right? The black book. I still want to know what that is. 'Cause it could be just some random black book, but like it's the only black book really in the entire library. So I
Yeah.
kind of want to see what that's all about.
It's probably like her most exclusive creatures.
I hope so. Probably where
I
she's
see
gonna
two
put
black
Brooke.
books. I see
she's
one
like
on the
half
right
inside
and one on the left.
aliens or some
Yeah.
shit.
That's probably
Like,
where
I
she'll
see
put
two.
Brooke.
Yeah.
Like ones with actual abilities and devil fruits and stuff. Like living things, not just like animals and stuff.
Yeah,
You
it
were
could be
wrong
like some
about that,
cards she's
Captain.
gonna use later on for something.
But no, I guess if anything else you just want to talk about that page at all?
I mean, like, to the reader, we kind of knew already for a long time that the Sun Pirates were affiliated with Big Mom, but like, it was kind of nice to see for the first time, like, Jimbe acknowledging to Luffy, like, hey, I work with Big Mom, like, my pirates are with her. So, like, to them, it was kind of like a shock, but obviously to the reader, it's like, well, we've known this for so long.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of like
Big
to them,
Mom,
it's
do
like a
you
kind of
still love me?
surprise. Like, he's actually willing to go against her, considering like the gap between like Jimbe and like Big Mom in terms of power and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm wondering why Big Mom left Opera on his own.
She probably thought like that there was literally gonna be no one left in her like
Yeah.
castle. It's like I'm
Like,
still like
he was
surprised.
in a cage, Brooke's
Yeah.
there, like everyone's in the mirror world. She thought like everything's fine, probably.
Because like why would a grain of sand be able to do what this like they're doing right now? Like it shouldn't be possible.
I'm getting tired of every single villain underestimating Luffy. It's like the narrative is being pushed that you can't underestimate Straw Hat.
Well, it's
Yet-
funny because like
But
sorry.
like if you think about like if you're looking at it like from strictly like that verse, right? Big Mom should underestimate Luffy. Like, who are you? You know what I mean? Like,
Like, she
even for
doesn't-
all the
I mean-
big things that she's done, like to someone like Big Mom, those are just small feats.
It's
Like
just-
she, you know,
After defeating Cracker, she should have not be underestimating.
Because if you look way back in Dressrosa, right?
Yeah, I
Even
agree with
before
that.
then, you shouldn't take your position for granted. I mean,
Like,
you should always think that somebody could come along and take you out, or else
Like-
somebody's gonna come along and take you out.
You guys remember with Dopey Ray and Dressrosa when he's like, "Oh, I know what this kid's like capable of. I'm not gonna underestimate him." And look what he did. Like even though he
Yeah.
said he wasn't gonna do it.
Big Mom even said that at the beginning as well. But she said she wasn't underestimating him. That's why she sent Cracker as well as Bruley. But yet she still did it.
Yeah. Would be the man of miracles. But yeah, like the next page, like it's kind of what we talked about earlier, is the fact that like literally Luffy's pretty much dying of hunger. It looks like, and like
Yeah.
the fact that later he's even like able to run confuses the shit out of me. Because what he's been
Yeah.
fighting for at least 12 hours with Cracker, or so, or 11 hours, and then
What page are we on
wandering
now?
Raged army, and then not eating for like an entire day at least or so.
7-0.
7, okay.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. But yeah, it's crazy, man. That like he's even capable of doing what he's doing. I love how Nami specifically is like, oh, like Luffy uses 3 times as much energy. as
Just
normal.
by staying alive.
But yeah, and like this is where I'm talking about where it looks like he's going upstairs. I'd assume they're on the first floor, because if it's a dungeon, or the second floor maybe. But it does look like the second floor to me. So yeah, I would assume the next floor is where he's going to probably end up running into Sanji and Reiju and whatnot. But like I said, I partly think that Judge is going to run into them first, maybe, or maybe even someone like Ichichi or Nichi.
Yeah.
So this chapter pretty much confirmed that Jimbe didn't go through with the roulette, right?
Yeah, you can
It does and it doesn't at the same time. Because like it's kind of contradicting itself. On one hand, they're saying, "Oh yeah, you're not allowed around the castle," which kind of means something went down. But then on the other hand, they're calling it a rebellion as if he's still part of their crew. So it's kind of like contradicting itself.
The only thing I could think of would be if he made her such a good deal that like she didn't want him to do the roulette. Like, oh, I'll tell you where this person is, or like I'll give you this like item or whatever. But I can't think of what it would be. That's the thing.
Yeah, but it's confirmed that he didn't lose any limbs because people still think he lost a leg or something.
But yeah, you see his left leg now. So
yeah.
But yeah, so like I don't know like what he would have done to get out, because like he already gave her poneglyphs, and I can't think of anything specific. The only thing I could think of would be maybe if he gives her the one random poneglyph that was on the Fishman Island, but that one's useless, I feel like. So I don't know, like he's got it, like I don't know. That, or if he like straight up just left the Fishman in her care, maybe with Aladdin. I don't know. So yeah, the next page we obviously go back to Sanji being a little baby again, crying his face off. But like I love the fact that like Sanji's being getting dicked around so bad. This like arc, it's funny. Like
don't say
that's
that.
things. It is though, cause like man, he thought like even like at the bottom of the bottom, right? He'd be okay, even if I like had to go through hell again, at least my friends are okay. And now he's finding out from Pudding, or supposedly finding out that that's not even like what's gonna happen. Like everyone's gonna die. And now he's put in a position where like he has to basically choose whether to try to save Luffy and them or try to save his family. Now we'll take a quick vote. Do you guys think who here thinks that he's gonna try to just leave everyone? Like not
he's
everyone,
not
sorry,
doing that.
the Vince Smokes. The Vince Smokes.
No, he's definitely saving his family, bro.
No, I'm on the boat that he's gonna save them. Like to at least tell
he's
them.
definitely saving his family.
I don't know. I mean, I'm coming in between on that one.
I'm not sure how to feel about it either.
Yeah,
I don't want him to save his family. He probably is, and then it's gonna piss me off some more. So
I feel like Oda kind of foreshadowed it, like in the fight with Brook versus Big Mom, right? Like he was talking about Sanji and how like he's just a kind person. So whenever he like decides to help someone, he'll literally once he decides to help someone, even if it means sacrificing himself, he's gonna help them. You know what I mean? So like he's literally gonna be like, all right, Reiju, I like you, and the rest of them might be shitty people, but they're my family.
Yeah, I think that like and Reiju talks about this chapter where she's like, like with the mom and like having emotions and whatnot. Like Reiju's like, oh, like
which is what makes him a good person.
Yeah, and so I kind of feel like he has to. But I know we talked about last stream. It's like I think Judge is going to kind of shut him down. Say like you're a liar. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't think Judge is going to believe Sanji, and that's what's going to probably be the interesting point. Is it's going to force Sanji to have to do something, even though he knows he's not going to like get any credit for it.
Like, I'm trying to think of a good way to put it. Like, you remember way back on Skypiea, right? When they were going to go save Nami, right? And then he's like, all right, me and Usopp are going. We're both running Usopp, right? Before he went to go directly save Nami, he's like, I'm going to fuck some shit up on the ship. You know what I mean? Like, he was already thinking of stuff ahead. I think it's going to be something like this. Like, he's going to go mess something else up, and then, like, even if they're going to attack the Vinsmokes, like, you're just going to see stuff breaking in the background, and they're going to be like, what the hell happened?
The one thing I really don't want this arc, and I know we've talked about it before, I don't want to see Sanji like completely cut down to the point where he's not doing anything on his own. Like I want him to take the initiative and start like helping.
What I think is going to be happening is that Judge is going to talk about his mom because he's lying, and then Judge is like, okay, you're being the pussy again. That's exactly what your mom wanted you to be and stuff. And then he's talking bad about his mom and what his mom did and everything, and more about the past of his mom. And that's triggered Sanji even more and more to get stronger. And then he probably awakens something.
Yeah, like I know a lot of people are talking about like I don't know, like it comes down how you see it though. Like I know a lot of people talk about like Hell's Memories being like his like kind of like form or whatever, like kind of like Asura, right? Like it's this powered
Yeah.
form. But I kind of want to see an opposite. I want to see something where it's like, because I feel like Hell's Memory is like it was kind of a joke at first, but it's a real thing. If you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
the vodka of like
I
Kamabaka.
I don't think it's gonna be Hell's Memory. I think it's gonna be something new.
Yeah, like I want it to be the opposite of Hell's Memory. I want it to be something like more
Heavenly
love
presence or
based.
some shit like that.
But I want it to be something more like based around his mom and his feelings for his mom versus like the actual hate towards his dad.
Yeah.
Like I feel that's kind of more the person he is.
I feel like he's
kind
gonna get over that soon. The hate towards his dad as well.
Oh, probably. One thing like side note is like I really want to see this arc. I want to see his dad like maybe die, but like die for his kids, like be an actual good parent.
Yeah,
Dude,
I don't want to see
don't
that.
see
That's
that.
exactly what I said. I was talking to
I hear you,
talking to
but I
Monkey D.
don't
Law
see it
about that.
happening. I think it's so out of character for Judge, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
but
don't
like,
want
It's
to see it.
too out of character
I
for
feel
him, bro.
like I know what you're saying, but like I've seen like it kind of comes down like how many like like I've seen it in a couple other mangas. Like I kind of see it being possible here, because I would assume if it comes to a situation right where like his kids are gonna die, it'd be because like they're his greatest accomplishment, right? So like he could like say something like that, but I feel like it would be like he actually loves his kids enough to the point where like he would probably die for them. I don't know. It comes how you
This
see
is
it.
the only
what I'm
reason why I
saying.
don't see that.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
think
At
about
that
it like this.
ultimate,
Sacrifice. Go
at
ahead.
that ultimate moment, he's gonna look around. He's gonna look at his children, think
Yeah.
about everything that he's done. He's gonna say, "Damn, man, I really taught you guys nothing but destruction. From the moment that you were born, the moment that you were created, you had not one chance at love."
But that was their whole purpose, though.
Bro,
Like,
that's
Yeah,
so
exactly.
the only
But
reason.
and then he's gonna realize when his life flashes before his eyes that he was wrong, and then he's finally gonna make the right decision. He's gonna say, "I will give my life for my children." to
That
give
is
them a
so
new start."
gay.
How
like,
can
Yeah,
it be
you tell him,
gay?
devil leg. You
I
tell
see it
him.
this way too. Like,
That
like
sounds so lame.
who here thinks that? Because in my opinion, right, I think Judge really loved his wife more so than anything.
Yeah.
And like I feel like that would be kind of like the thing where like it'd be the wake up call. Like, okay, like I actually love my kid, like my wife, and like those are our kids. Like, you know what I mean? So
I think
but
that's
then
truly
what
why
about
he hates
someone like
Sanji.
then?
No,
I
yeah,
don't
like
think it's
It
because
happens
he's
all the
clearly
time in
African
real life.
specific why.
Sanji is the reason, like is the X factor or whatever you want to call it for her dying. Like no matter how, like it's not his fault, but he's the cause of her death. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
like
because
People
she's,
do a
I
complete
she
180 in the face of death. It happens all the
right,
time.
yeah. But yeah, so I just kind of want to see where you guys were thinking, because that's kind of how I see this arc might be going. Because I feel like someone needs to die this arc. Like I'd be disappointed if all this goes down and there's no death. I would be kind of disappointed in Oda.
I want to see someone die, but I want it to be someone like Zeph so that Sanji can get over this bullshit.
But
Like, I don't want this to
Reiju
be
pretty much
possible.
confirmed that he don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, but that's not going to stop him from worrying about it. Like, just because she
True.
said it, it's not going to stop it.
Right. So like yeah, like I don't know, and it goes back to like how you see the story. Like if you don't see the story going that way, it doesn't make sense. But if you do, then it does make sense, I guess. So we'll have to see. But I don't think it's gonna be like a situation until way later, until like near the end of the arc. So I guess like the one obviously big thing we can talk about then is the fact that like there's a medicine drug and like all the lineage factor things. So like people are saying that they believe that the mom then was a scientist and she made it herself. How do you guys feel about that?
I feel like
I mean-
it would have been very clear if Oda just had Reiju say like, "Mom was a scientist. She developed this drug that would have," and then like just go on from there instead of having us guess about it.
Right.
Because it's just
And
like,
it would
where
make
would you
more
get a
sense
drug?
because she just created it on the fly, and that's the reason why it only worked on one of them.
I mean, like, because like, where would you get a drug that specifically stops your kids from being genetically modified? I don't.
Well, I mean, I was watching
Exactly.
one of Brago's streams, and then someone actually said that, you know how like all crazy scientists, they create a countermeasure for their mad creations just in case it turns against them, right?
Right.
So like, imagine if Judge made this drug in mind just in case these kids decided to kill him.
But
He
how
could
would
then like slip it to one of them, or like turn it into
Yeah.
liquid form and
but
shoot them with it, or some shit
that
like
doesn't
Mom watching
that,
pregnant.
that doesn't
It-
add up with the thing that he said. They let them be monsters.
well,
Yeah, he wants them to be monsters, but he wants them to be monsters that he can control. So then
But the
if he
thing with
lost
that is-
control of them, then he'd need a way to fight against them, right?
to go the medicine science route. But like I assume that it was like she had to inject it into like her embryos or something like that. like directly during like before birth. Like that's how I like read it. Like, I don't think it was an after case kind of thing. Like I don't think she like Sanji was born and then she like injected the baby with it. I think like before he was
Yeah,
born.
yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Because
and this drug wasn't made to kill them. This
Right.
drug was made to stop them from losing their emotion.
Yeah.
And that's an oddly
Yeah.
specific drug. I don't know.
That's true. I don't know.
I mean,
See, that's
like,
what I'm saying. Though. I'm kind of losing faith in this arc because there's so much shit that just doesn't make sense. It's like he's rushing it for some weird reason.
Man, we need to get to Wano.
Faith in Oda one day.
Yeah.
Have faith in Oda after seducing Woods? Are you serious?
No. Just gotta believe he's the
Like,
best.
I see it this way. Like, if we were driving a car and you tell me we're going to like some really cool place, right? And we're driving for like, I don't know, like 15 hours, right? And there's only like 5 more hours left.
Yeah, you're preparing to get killed, innit? You're
like,
waiting to get to that forest.
And you take a few wrong turns.
Yeah, exactly.
I would put my faith in the driver. Like, okay, well, you know, like I'm gonna assume for these 15 hours that we haven't died for. You tell me we're going somewhere fun. These last 5 hours aren't gonna be that bad. That's kind of how I imagine it.
I think about it like this: if you got in an Uber and he started taking all the turns that were wrong on the thing, you're still gonna have faith.
No, man, you was about to turn on 10 to 12 minutes ago.
But he has to take it wrong. Not in my heart. But yeah, no, like I feel, you know, there are some things that like are bothering me. Like if I had a choice to kind of like go to Wano right now, like I kind of would, because I really want to see the arc. But
oh no, I wouldn't. I want it. I want at least some sort of resolution first.
No, I'm saying like if they could kind of like speed it up and keep
it,
like, like
definitely
decent, right? But I do see
it
what's happening. I do feel like his writers are probably like telling him like, you know, you have like X amount of years left, so kind of like think of how you have to like do these arcs. I think Wano's gonna be one of the longer arcs left.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's like 2 years plus at least. But
that's what I don't understand. Why would they give their bread and butter a timestamp? Why even do that to Oda?
Die. So they're kind of like, well, we need you to like wrap it up, kind of. Like it's not. I don't think they're like telling him like you have to end it by this year. But I do think like he's kind of considering his health and like where he would be, because like imagine, because he's like 40 years old, right? And like he's only sleeping on like 3 hours or whatever. So like it's gonna start like coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you consider that like it's aimed at a younger audience as well. So if that younger audience starts growing up, then they basically lose it, and people probably won't start this manga now, considering it's like 900 chapters in, almost.
I mean, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, but I mean, like our generation would, but they're like these new people that they're actually aiming at probably wouldn't.
Or
they'll just go
they're
for
gonna
the
new generation will be like, oh my gosh, 1,000+ chapters of One Piece greatness. You know,
back to back.
I don't know, bro. It started 20 years ago. So somebody that was like 8 started reading it then. You know, they're 20.
That's why like the majority of the YouTubers are like 30, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Back to the chapter. What do you guys think about?
Old now.
Wait, what? Oh,
I feel really old now.
No, it's okay, bro. It's okay.
But what do you guys think about when Sanji says like, even if I was able to do such a thing, what happened to the Baratie? Like about like just leaving, right? And then Meiju says also along the lines of like, you know, Big Mom doesn't care about stuff from them. In my mind though, I'm thinking like, if Sanji dipped, right, and she really wanted the wedding, right?
Yeah.
And like that fucked up the wedding, no matter how you see it. Even she is gonna kill him, which I don't think she is, but even if she was planning to kill him, right? And like Sanji left, that fucked up everything. Then I feel like she would go and kill Zeph. Like that's how I imagine it. Of like kind of like spite.
Like he's close to Sanji, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what she's.
Well, I mean,
I don't. I think she would go for Sanji, if anything.
Because like if they get to the wedding and Sanji's out there, they can still shoot the Vince smokes and take the tech, so they shouldn't be that upset.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. See, okay. So I'll do another.
I mean, Big Mom is petty, so I don't know.
Yeah. Who here still thinks that like what Pudding said was correct, and the fact that like her entire plan?
I don't
hear.
Someone's making like some scratchy.
Yeah, like what is that?
What was all that noise?
But yeah, so like, what do you guys think? Like, do you think that she's telling the truth, and like Big Mom's entire plan from start to end was just to kill the Vince Smokes?
No.
Well, I think so.
Because
I just don't see it only because like if that was really her plan, the second they landed, she could have done it right away. There was no need to, or like when they were talking to her, like, you know, when Sanji went up and talked to her with his family.
1v5 of them. That's how I see
Exactly. She could have been like, "You're all dead.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna take your stuff." You know what I mean?
Like the only thing I could imagine, right, is if
See,
her
like-
plan. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, and I'll say it after.
Like, I would also think like that, but all the other plot holes in this arc, I'm starting to, you know, see like, oh, maybe that's just a plot hole too.
Oda doesn't make plot holes.
He doesn't make plot holes.
He already has made a couple though.
One vision. He's going to explain all of them. Just give him time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not Kubo, guys. Come on.
I understand where you're coming from, Monkey, but at the same time, you can't blame us. You can't blame us for.
I know. I'm not
pointing these
blaming you.
things
I'm
out.
not blaming you. But I'm saying believe Stebo.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But how I see it too would be like if like she really wanted to like do the wedding right just for the kicks of it, like that's how she like gets her like high, you know what I mean? Like because like her big thing is the cake, right? Like I literally think that's her main goal right now is literally eating that cake.
Yeah, man.
No, it is.
She's
Bro.
ready for a
like-
feast, bro.
Yeah, because like
That's
they even
probably
mentioned,
her ultimate goal. Yeah.
yeah, they mentioned this chapter like, you know, if something happened to the cake, like imagine
no,
what happened
everything would
afterwards,
happen,
the
yeah.
unthinkable. And you already know that's like okay, it's gonna happen. Like it was already confirmed before, but now it's like 100% confirmed. Like the cake's gone. Like
Yeah.
and so I thought that was just kind of
Did they
interesting.
mention the cake specifically, or did they say if Big Mom's plan doesn't go through?
I think it was a
You
cake.
mentioned the
I had to
plan.
still check.
It was a plan.
Yeah.
It was a
Oh,
plan.
okay.
But, like you know that plan's a cake. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
but
Like
like
that's
I
what
could
the whole hype
yeah,
is for.
I could see that being the reason why like she didn't try to kill them and whatnot. But I'm still on the boat that like Pudding's just saying that to say it. I don't think that's the case. Like I think like she's actually wants them to live and stuff. But the only thing else I could think would be like with Ichiji, right? Because we all thought of like Ichiji maybe taking over somehow, like kind of like a coup in the
Yeah.
midst of it. Is what if he made a deal with her previous to this and said, "I'll show you how to use the said technology and everything like that if you let me become like the sole survivor or whatever."
Does he take over before the wedding?
Well, she got Caesar, and isn't
Exactly.
Peril Sparrow a scientist too?
But, like I would assume it's like specific German stuff because like only they
Yeah, like they might not. Yeah.
Hmm.
kind of like. But
I think they can figure it out.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but yeah, so like, that's kind of how I saw it. Would be like maybe Ichiji might have told her like, you know, let's make a deal. But I'm still with the fact that I don't think like she's gonna try to kill them. It just doesn't make sense to me. What else was I say? Yeah, so like, how do you guys feel then about like the fact that her sole thing, right, was I'm just looking at the panel where like Sanji's smiling, like her sole purpose basically was to have kids, like, and like she was experimented on during like a surgery, like
You talk about the mum.
yeah, sorry, the mom, like, because like I'd assume like the surgery happened either during or before the kids were like in her like stomach, like in her uterus.
I just keep on getting vibes of like Metal Gear Solid, honestly, from like the whole entire thing.
Like that.
What page are we on?
I'm on my channel. Mine is 12. It's the one where like the little kids are being shown in the flashbacks and the
Yeah.
mom's on the floor.
That's something interesting we got to talk into a bit with Ichiji and Yonji, because like if you look at from like what's going on in the background of them, like with Ichiji he has like lightning or something coming from behind them,
Yeah.
and the way you look at Ichiji, he has like either like
Fire.
fire or explosion,
Yeah.
something crazy, yeah. And I'm thinking like because I know Oda likes to play like, you know, like one character we'll see will have a double fruit in the future, like in the back in the past, and then later on in the future we see something similar but kind of more of an improved thing. So like, could Ichiji be like the third like explosion user of the series?
I think I don't think it's so.
Yeah, he could be.
I think it's just like that's his like
With the eco-skeleton
factor.
ability, I guess, yeah.
because I think it's something worth like because Vegapunk, right? Because we know that Vegapunk was in relation to Judge when they were doing all this shit, right? And
Yeah.
Vegapunk was the person that we know is the one that could like create devil fruits, right? That smiles and stuff, and then he can put them in like objects, right? I assume that like it's something with the pacifistas, like how the pacifistas had the light beams and stuff like that. My guess is that he did something similar. Like Judge learned something from Vegapunk, and then like he kind of like imbued certain devil fruits inside them, but they don't actually have a devil fruit. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like for like side note, like the new pacifistas that we're gonna see later, I'm assuming they're gonna have like gravity features
Fire
and
and
like
ice and all that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, like they're gonna have all the admirals like abilities inside them. That's how I imagine.
That's
That's why
crazy.
they're OP. Because could you imagine a new pacifista that has like gravity effects and like a
Yeah,
zone?
they could be the new old ones, innit?
Yeah, Because they already said like at the very like first chapter or something like that on the Sentamara, right? On the
Oh, how they have
skip.
newer models, right?
Yeah, and they're like all like those old models are basically garbage. Like compared to the new
Yeah.
ones. So my guess is like they're just improved versions and they had better devil fruits and like multiple devil fruits. So I
Yeah.
assume it's something similar. That's how I see it. They don't think they actually had devil fruits. Because like Sanji's fire, right? Diablo Jambe. Like I assume obviously that's not a devil fruit and that's therefore his like passive or whatever you want to call it, like his genetic makeup. Kind of like like X-Men and mutants and stuff like that. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's Yonji's pretty much? Because like he's the only one I see in the panel
It's
doesn't show anything.
garbage.
Sanji
No, he was wind.
He's
He
trying to
was
be human, but he can't get it.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Mars?
Yeah, he just
he can
kicking.
be
So
ice, maybe. No.
No,
They
he
called
was
him
wind
winch.
something like the wind or something.
He was called a winch though, so like that's like a rope and stuff.
I think we would
Yeah.
see like a gust of wind behind him or something.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
I
Unless
thought he
his
was
nothing
elements Reiju.
I thought he was just gonna have like because they call him winch, so I
Maybe it's
assume
just
that he
strength or
was gonna have
something.
something like.
Did you say his element is
That's
raging?
strength. That's lame.
Uh,
I was making a joke.
but
Because
I
Reiju's behind him.
could imagine like he's something mechanical or something like that. Because like I don't know. I guess obviously we'll see. Like it clearly wasn't that good because he got wrecked by Sanji. Uh, but yeah, like I thought it was kind of funny though how like the scene where the mom's talking about Sanji and like all super happy because like she basically expected all of her kids were gonna be devils.
Yeah.
She was glad that like Sanji was the only non like evil person.
I'm glad they cleared that up though. I'm glad they didn't just leave it as Sanji being a failure, that they actually gave it a reason for why he's different instead of he's just, oh yeah, he's a failure. Like, so he's not a failure, he just got saved from being like evil like that.
Yeah, like in the eyes of Judge, he sees him as a failure, but obviously it's everyone else and the mom like sees it like as the kid who was like the normal one of the four.
Yeah, exactly. The only real child.
Sorry, what else do you guys think about that panel? I'm looking at the one where like Sanji's feeding the birds and they're talking about everything.
I mean, like it just goes to show like the true emotions of like a true human being. Like you're supposed to have life, you're supposed to feel emotions, and like especially to see like in the panel like right above where it's saying like Sanji's feeding animals, that's a sign of emotions. So like it goes to show you like you gotta be like really happy to see that Sanji never turned out to be just like how his brothers are, even though it's like it wasn't to their will, it was their genes pretty much got screwed up against their own will. So to see like how Sanji ended up being like the good of the four and stuff like I was repeating before, like it just makes it feel good. Like thank God he's not along like the lines of those people as well.
Yeah, like I thought it was kind of interesting. Like they finally showed like Sanji's mom was an actual good person, like died for Sanji and whatnot. I still think it's weird though, like why her mom would like someone like Judge, because I still think that Judge has to have been a good person at one point in time. Like, because the mom seems way too nice to be like. With
I want to save my thoughts on that until
maybe.
we get done the chapter because I actually have a really good suggestion for that, and you guys probably have to think about it too as well. So
I was gonna say that maybe Sanji's mom isn't a nice person, but she's just nice to her kids because they're her kids.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Either that or like it'd be interesting if like the mom was either like obviously like an ex-scientist with like judging them, or if she was like a royalty, like and like maybe they married her off to Judge or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, if you want me to say mine, I can say it now and get it out of the way. But I honestly think, like, when we go back to the comics with like Sora versus like the Germa, I really do believe like maybe she was working with the Marines and she was Sora, and then something happened along the lines where like when she met with Judge, the good girl went to the side of bad because like she saw like a connection between the two and they actually fell for each other. But then obviously when it comes to the marriage afterwards, right? Like you saw behind the scenes what this person was like, and because she was already trapped in this world where like she wasn't able to get out of it. Because if she tries to leave him afterwards, she's kind of like stuck in a pickle where like get screwed over by the Marines and get killed by them. If I stay with these guys, I'm gonna be screwed up. So
yeah, you're talking about like the WE comics or the WE comics, right? The World Government comics.
Yeah, because I think that like if realistically that's gonna have some kind of play in the actual story because that's probably like what her role was before she met Judge.
The thing that confuses me with that, right, is because me and Stebo were talking about that last night. I brought up the fact that like Sora, is probably her, like in reference to her. The other thing that like confused me though is like when you look at the actual panel, right, and they have the drawing of it, you literally see her kids like in their teenage years or their adult years, right? You see Judge behind them, and then like they're facing her, so it kind of doesn't make sense if that if you get it, because like
I can kind of see is like unless like the drawings were like from like later on, like after she long got joined,
there had to be
someone else as like inspiration for the comics. So it's not like they say like this was specifically Soul of Smoke. You know what I mean?
right. Because like you see Sora and like obviously it's like it would be interesting if she was related to the government or like one of the top. It would be funny as if she was related to the Gorosei that's blonde. Because I know that was like the old theory about who their dad was before, like Sanji's dad.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting if that was like his daughter, maybe.
I think there could be a possibility that the Germa published the comic themselves, and that would explain why Big Mom made the little remark to her subordinate about.
I think you confirmed the Ray was the
not
Marines,
believing everything.
What'd you say, Laz? You laid for a second.
No, I was saying I was pretty sure that the comics were done by the Marines or government.
Well, that's what they said, but like you never know.
Yeah, but the Vinsmokes clearly have connections with the world government, though.
Because he's saying like
so it's possible that they could have published it through the Marine.
Kind of like what Domingo did, didn't it?
Right. It's like we'll probably see something with that stuff later, because I'd assume that we're gonna kind of get like touched upon why her name's Sora and like the obvious relation there. I don't know if you guys want to go to the next page where Luffy's doing the strangle attack. Because that's obviously the guy that he was fighting with Montior in the book and whatnot. And it's to me, man, like it's still kind of disappointing that Luffy's, in my mind, he's running in what, like 10% like, energy or whatever, if he's like truly completely like tired. And
because Big Mom's crew is useless.
Yep, he's taking them down.
But the thing with this, didn't he and the other guy knock Luffy out?
Well, they like sandwiched. If you know this guy right here, there's two of them. There's this guy and one other guy, and they sandwiched him with like a hockey punch when he was already pretty much done. But like he was tired then. But I'm saying like it's kind of weird to me because like if he's literally just walking up on this guy and strangling this dude out, like when he's like very very weak, like it makes
that's what I'm saying. It doesn't add up if he was already weak when he got hit and knocked out, and now he's even, I think, weaker, and he still can strangle him just with his one arm.
Yeah, no.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of stupid. The way they demonstrate,
Luffy OP.
The way they're demonstrating this crew right now, it's like everyone seems to be so weak that Luffy can just run in there. If an Admiral was to show up with like a ship full of Marines, they would decimate everybody in there.
What's their call?
You know what's even worse? He got people around him and they just running.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't understand why the Admirals haven't taken him out. Like, why the Admirals haven't taken out these Yonkos yet? Because it seems easy enough by the way these guys are running around.
I do think though, Smoothie and especially Katakuri, like I still have very high hopes for Katakuri, for whoever that's gonna be.
Yeah, but I mean, two of them aren't enough to solo a whole Yonko crew. Like, they're not enough to hold up the whole reputation of
that. You're going through all these islands, 34 islands, right? That's surrounding this place, and like each one of them has like not top tier people, but they have good people, like good alliance people, and like I think it's just the connections, like because that's Whitebeard, right? Like a lot of Whitebeard's people did seem on the outset like garbage, like the alliance members, not the direct crew. But I do feel like they were captains of the New World and like known people, so I feel like they were decently strong. But I don't think any of them were like touching admirals. I think at best they're touching like low vice admirals. So I think it's kind of like the numbers factor. Because if they were to send in, like, let's say they send in like Fujitora and Kizaru, right, to go take them out, then their home base could be raided by someone like Kaido, and then they get wiped out. I think it's just kind of like that. It's like you're surrounded by all these other pirates that are like itching to take you down.
Yeah.
Like Whitebeard's arm still bleeding from him trying to rip.
I was gonna mention that right there because like I know certainly was choking him, like he's like bleeding at that point. So like, is he really at 10% right now? Because I feel like he probably healed just like a little bit. So I would say maybe like 25% at best.
I mean, even then though, like
I'd say he's even worse. He's been sitting in the prison, and then he must have lost a lot of blood from being wound up the way he was.
Fire as well.
Yeah, and he got set on fire. I mean, I don't see how he could have healed in any way. I think he's worse off than he was.
I think Luffy's Jesus now. That's pretty much confirmed.
Not Naruto level yet. Hold on.
Or he's immune to pain now, pretty much. Like
he's out of pain.
I don't know if you guys want to go to the next page then. With
I just don't see how this is the same guy that knocked Luffy out with a tag team punch from his brother, and then he getting choked out.
Yeah.
Well, what happens is, like, tag teams are good at one thing, but as soon as you get them in a singles match, that's it, man. They're scrubs.
They also
No, what happened?
I don't think
What happened
Luffy
is
either.
Big Mom
That's too
trash.
easy. That's too easy.
I don't like it.
But yeah, so I don't know if you guys want to go to the smoothie page then. We'll talk about that.
All right.
They'll
I
walk
eat-
outside.
Yeah, but it's the thing. I got even a feeling that the commanders are weaker than the ministers.
Wait, what?
Weaker than the minister.
Yeah, for example, like Montior is stronger than I think. Like even like Smoothie.
I don't.
I mean,
think
maybe
so.
his devil fruit might be better, but I think combat wise, I don't think he's got it.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think they're just kind of like, I think Smoothie's just getting like super trolls right now, and because like the thing is, if they were to actually go all out, right, like the commanders, and we can relate them to like the calamities, right, like say like Jack would be equal to like, let's just say something like Smoothie or whatever, and there's 3 of them, right, on the island. Like Luffy's group with all they have should have been decimated by one of them if they were going complete all out. But you have to remember they were told not to kill until just now.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I'm
like,
looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
Yeah.
But you fools, Luffy has plot armor.
Yeah.
So Smoothie said if we report any of this news to Mama, tomorrow's plans will be affected. What do you think Big Mom's gonna do?
Well, I mean, Big Mom
I'm
is
gonna go
right.
into a rampage
Hey,
mode.
she'll probably kill one of her kids, man.
But I mean, if she was going to rampage, I think she would have did it when she saw Brooke in her most important
No.
room
When she
in the
finds
castle.
out that someone let out all of her precious beasts, she's gonna flip.
They didn't
I
let
mean,
him.
I'd be surprised if she
let
killed
out,
Montiora right there and then.
Imagine if you were playing Pokemon and you caught like you finished the game and then you like your little brother or something like that gets on your 3DS and then all your shit's gone.
Leaves everything.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So let me ask this though, really
You can't
quick,
do
since
that.
we're on like the topic of that. Like, pretty much, let's say Big Mom with her soul fruit, right? Let's say she's able to actually take the devil fruit power of like put the soul along, right? And she decides to kill Montiora because he fucked up. You think she could probably put the like whatever the soul and the ability into someone else, and they inherit the devil fruit power?
That's what I kind of thought Prometheus and Zeus might be at one point, but I'm not too sure.
So wait, you think that if someone that's a devil fruit user gets their soul taken and put into an object, that object gets the devil fruit?
Yeah, like I guess like, or like let's say like, for example, if I think of like the clones and stuff, if she ends up getting her hands on the clones and like whoever she kills and uses takes their soul, which is already in contact with the devil fruit, and places it inside the clone or what object, then maybe they get that power as well.
The clones
I mean,
shouldn't like.
That makes
sorry.
sense.
So like the
If
clones.
she would have to do that, then I think it would have to be like a different type of soul taken away, like not just the ordinary one that she's been doing. It would have to be like some upgraded version.
Well, 2 things from. I'll go ahead and I'll
Hold on.
say.
No, I just want to say this is also confirming that Big Mama doesn't know everything what's going on the
Yes.
island.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people
Oh,
keep
that's true.
secrets from her, right?
Say that again. Yeah.
No, I'm saying that people are trying to keep secrets from her and stuff because they feel like they can handle the situation without having to inform her. Because if she finds out every single little thing about her, and we kind of know how her personality is, she's gonna flip for everything that's going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that she don't know though, because remember when the hat was relaying information to her?
Right.
It seemed like the hat was talking to the other homies across the island,
That's what I'm saying.
and knowing that the homies are all over the place, shouldn't she
Yeah.
know everything?
And it goes
Yeah,
back to my thing with pudding, man. Like,
Maybe
that's
it's
why
like
she's
a
doing
relays
what's going on.
thing. Like maybe it's like relays thing with the mirrors. You have to ask.
But that's how she like uses like her network for information. That's fucking scary. That the homies just
wait,
can
no,
tell
it's not.
her.
No, it's
but
not.
Big
They're not
Mom
scary at
right
all
outside
because
that
it's not
door.
working.
But should a Smoothie knows that then, and why, you know?
I mean, like, okay, Big Mom is right outside that door. If Smoothie talks too loud, she probably already knows.
I still think observation hockey is so stupid now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's not as to what it said it should be.
It's like when we got Luffy on the island, like he could sense like where everything was. And, like Rayleigh could.
Yeah,
so,
but
like,
the
Yeah.
playing with Haki, by the way, in this whole
So-
arc is strange because I still say that Luffy could use his Conqueror's Haki at the moment that the whole army was attacking him, and he didn't use it as well.
I think part of that was like where you had like the energy to do it. Like, I think
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
he was too
Haki, 'cause,
tired.
like because like you have to remember he's using Gear 4 before then. Like they already said like Law stated that Haki does have a limit with his Gear 4 and everything. So like I think that was the case, but like I do see what you're saying. Like he should be able to knock out all the pawns at least.
Yeah.
So
Like, I don't know,
Luffy's best observation user in the series confirmed.
Oh no, the Skypiea priest seemed pretty.
Enel, you're forgetting Enel.
Oh yeah.
So
The nail.
side note
Forgot
with
about
this
the nail.
with this flower guy user, do you think he's the one that made the flowers that could talk and stuff? Like obviously those are probably homies, but like, do you think he's just a flower user, or do you think he's just a random guy that looks like a flower?
I think it's
I
just a
think he's
random
just a
guy.
random guy that looks like a flower.
Like some of these people look so weird. I swear.
I was gonna say, going back to also the court, like the flow levels of the flooring and stuff. I don't know if I was the only one that felt this, but like I started getting like the Trust Rosa vibes from like, you know, they're trying to go up the corridors and stuff to get to Doflamingo. And I'm just thinking, please, for the love of God, don't tell me like Luffy's gonna be sent down, then he's gonna go all the way back up to get to the wedding. I'm like, if that happens, I'm
let
gonna
me.
like,
You just almost got me my theory about it. I'm really thinking that he will find Caesar instead of anybody else. He will find Caesar.
That would be interesting. I wouldn't mind that because like I think we haven't seen Caesar for what, like 20 chapters.
That's why.
For a
That's
long
why.
time.
yeah.
That's why I think he's going down, and he will find Caesar.
Yeah, but I hope it's not like they drag it on for like 10 chapters. Like he goes down there, they're gonna figure something out because like the story is technically at the halfway point right now of the arc. Like things should start picking up, and like just based on the chapter alone, you can already see that it's starting to progress a lot.
Yeah.
Dark Side said that Otis made sure to be more consistent with shitting on Sanji than observation hockey.
He's got the have their moment. But yeah, so like the fact that like they talk about the floors and whatever, and they're like, oh, like seal off all the corridors leading here, and then go deal with the third floor people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, who the hell is gonna go stop Luffy though? Like, is the flower guy himself gonna go stop him? Like, what's that gonna do?
Unless Katakuri just came inside the building, you know, he's just waiting at the steps or something.
Speaking
or even
of-
crazier, what if Cracker? Cracker just came out the infirmary. He's like, yo, round two, bitch.
That would be funny.
Now me to throw some water on him.
He's
Yeah,
like, that was
Jimbe's
my
there
true
now.
form.
He gonna get cauterized.
But yeah, like, where do you think Katakuri is right now? Like, do you think it can be some like super lazy person that's just like kind of like, you know, whatever, like I'll deal with it when the time comes?
It's probably guarding the cake.
I
Oh,
see.
Probably
yeah.
hiding
It
inside
could
Big
be,
Mom's
yeah.
asshole.
Could be doing the finishing touches on the cake.
What?
Oh, God, that is-
I thought I heard that wrong, but then
Yeah.
I thought I did
Nah.
too.
Nah, you heard right. You heard
Fuck Stebo.
because he's boo boo.
But where would the kitchen be exactly?
I'm
Would it
calling
be on
it.
the fourth floor?
Probably the fourth floor. Because
You
that's
don't put a kitchen on the fourth floor. That's annoying.
Whatever floor Big Mom's throne room is on.
There's probably a kitchen on every
In terms of
floor.
importance, you would think the higher you would have to climb even higher to get to the place where you need to go to.
Because as the fourth floor, it looks like it's probably the top floor. I'm guessing. I can't tell.
It should be.
So that's where they're on right now, from my understanding. Like
Yeah.
the throne, the treasure room, everything.
Fourth floor.
So yeah, like
Still all
and then-
corridors leading here.
because the doctor says he's going to the fourth floor, and he says he's going to go to the infirmary. So like that's where I assume Cracker's going to be. And I,
do you still think he's in there, or do you think he's? Oh wait, it's only been a day, and it's still the same day, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or-
he's probably in there, probably healing. But like Laz said, like I still think they're going to meet again, because like he said, round two. But like
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it
don't
would
know.
make sense. It'd be so stupid. Like we built up like these whole like sweet commanders and stuff, and he just gets beaten. That's the end of him, you know. Unless
Yeah.
like they show up during like the whole chaos of the wedding. But like I see him doing some more work afterwards.
Yeah. Wait, is this the morning after now?
No, this is still the same night.
I want to say this
Same
is like
night.
right now.
So
Like
it's
we're talking
nighttime
about the
right now.
clock. It'd be
Yeah.
like 9 p.m. or something right now, probably.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought it was 11 o'clock on a couple chapters ago. I could be
Was
wrong.
it?
It was at least 8 o'clock. I remember there's an 8 o'clock.
I
And
don't think
5
you should look at them clocks, honestly.
Yep, Stebo. No.
I'm gonna start looking at the clocks more often now.
Yeah, like I've been trying to keep track, so like I know, because like I've been looking for like when the wedding is, because even if it's like 8 or 9 o'clock, right? Like then we have a couple hours and then sleep time for everyone, and then the wedding.
Actually,
We're gonna have to see the wedding. That's the thing. Like,
I don't think we are going to see the wedding at this
Because-
point.
oh
I think the wedding's more likely
It's a
than the
clock.
after ceremony.
big
Like,
is-
It's
listen,
a clock right
listen,
outside
listen.
the chateau, right? It's a clock right outside the chateau. It looks like it's either like 2:55 or it's 11:10
what page?
on 850, chapter 850, page 4.
I'll look at it. But yeah, like
And
I
then
think
it's like 3 clocks in the kitchen where Sanji is, and they all have a different time.
like I would feel disappointed as hell though if we really didn't get
He's rushing to get to Wano, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
it's 7:55 on one of the clocks, and I don't see. Where's the other clock? You saw?
Oh, the 2 something.
Oh no, I see what you're talking about now. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. There's like a bunch of different clocks. That was
I
the
wouldn't
clock
lie
on the
to
upper
you.
left as well. I was going off of, because you're talking about that 2 clocks upper right of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Just gotta believe, Stebo.
Yeah, gotta believe.
But no, like how pissed would you guys honestly be if like we really didn't get the wedding? Because
No, we
mind,
have to get the
no,
wedding.
that's
I
not
think we're
like
we
we
gonna
have.
get the winning. Definitely.
Dude, he's been
Like,
building.
okay,
This whole
guys,
thing's
guys.
been building up for the wedding.
You know what else has been building up? Those handcuffs and the Zev threat.
Okay,
Yes,
stop
exactly.
the double leg. Stop.
Exactly. Thank you, Devil Leg, man. See, this guy knows. This guy knows.
But like
It's
honestly,
just like there's no reason for Brooke. There's no to stay there for another day. There's no reason for like Sanji to be
That's what I'm
staying there for
saying.
another day.
Because like the
I don't
whole
see
thing,
why-
like, I thought with Brook here, like the only reason, like it would have been so sick if the only reason he's getting up time and time again is to get those keys for Sanji. That would have been so hype. That would have been so hype.
Yeah, because you already know it's like he's not going to be Big Mom, but you want to see
Exactly.
exactly how he can maybe try and like pull the unbelievable, you know?
Exactly. But then it's like, no, they were fake all along. Like, come
I'm
on,
not a
man.
hater. I swear I'm
That's
not
The
a
thing
hater.
is, because the way I'm looking at it is like Sanji got played. Like from every single like way you look at it, like he got played by Pudding, he got played by Big Mom, and he got played by his own sister,
And he got played by Oda.
and he got played by Oda. Like his own mother played him.
Like, Oda, hey man, it's your year this year. I was like, yay.
so
Dude.
I'm just kind of skipping ahead to the last panel because like last page because there's not really much on the next page.
I was gonna-
I'll go ahead.
I was gonna say regarding like the cups and stuff, because I'm thinking to myself at this moment, there's no homies within the infirmary, is there?
There's only that one homie. Well, not homie. Well, I guess the soldiers.
soldier.
Yeah, the soldier's a homie, right?
Bro, security is really lacking, man.
Well, I mean, like you know how we saw like the spades and like the judge's room and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that are kind of live, like something along those lines. 'Cause if there's something there and they can actually communicate back to Big Mom, she's gonna find out right away that like it was all like a fake, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
So it's like Big Mom's a step ahead of everything if that is the case.
But it's probably not.
I think it might be the case.
But what do you guys think about the last page? Because the fact that like we're now pretty much looks like he's almost to the infirmary, like from my understanding. Because I think he's on the same floor because he's got to be on this 3rd floor, I'd assume.
Well, I mean, we don't know where the infirmary is. It could be on like the other side of the castle.
Well,
so
infirmary's on the 3rd floor.
when
I thought they said it earlier because he's like, oh, we're going up a floor to the 4th floor.
Yeah, I think he's probably going near the infirmary, if anything, because it'd be kind of stupid to be somewhere else.
But the infirmary, is it only one room?
I
But
just
it's
assume.
like,
'Cause
yeah,
I
it's probably
don't
not a
know.
whole floor. You
so,
know,
like the infirmary could be like on the east side of the castle, and Luffy could be like on the north side.
Well, if you look real quick, if you go to well, for me, it's page 9. It's where it says infirmary in the upper right. You can see a
Yeah.
hallway first, and then you see one door specifically.
That's
And
what
then
I'm saying. So if there was like one room, there should be more beds and more people. So that Cracker should be in the same room where she's laying now, right?
Well,
Or not?
there's another infirmary on the floor above them though, which is probably where Cracker's at currently.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. Like when they run up to meet. Big
Maybe they just
Mom,
left Cracker outside because he got defeated. Like you're trash now, bro.
take out the trash, go find a snack.
The only thing that makes it obvious too if Luffy was there is if we saw like the little lamps and stuff on the walls, because right there that just like that giveaway.
Yeah, but I can't remember what I was saying. Sorry, I'm just trying to find that panel with the infirmary info.
All right, do you guys think they're gonna meet Smoothie, like when they're climbing the tower?
oh my gosh.
I feel like Smoothie would be an interesting
I think they have
character
to.
for how I imagine her powers would work for Jimbe, because he's like a waterbender.
All right, so if they go to that place, isn't that where Brooke and Big Mom are fighting, like right
Yeah.
inside the room?
Which
Yeah.
is probably where Luffy might meet Big Mom. But again, I think we're gonna get stopped by either the judge and the Vince Smokes, like Luffy and them are gonna get stopped by that, or something along those lines.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be a bit mad if they just get captured again.
gonna.
Because you're like, what the fuck? This
I
is
wouldn't,
what
because then it would kind of
It would
redeem the
make
crew a
sense.
little bit. It would
make
kind of redeem the
sense,
crew, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like if Luffy meets Smoothie now and he still manages to get past her, I lose all faith in these Yonko crews. Literally, I will lose.
Yeah,
all
definitely.
faith.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like all this realistically shouldn't even be happening.
Nothing,
He should-
at all.
Like, because if this was Blackbeard's, right, like or Kaido's,
No,
like,
it would be over. It would be a
like,
wrap.
Literally, they
What,
were
are you serious? Who on Kaido's crew has been impressive other than Jack?
I mean, well, that's what we're talking about. Though.
I
Like, if they
mean,
sent
would
Crackers,
they
they
be
would
able to?
send
Yeah,
Jack.
exactly.
If they sent Jack, it would be over. Like, it would have been. Like,
Yeah.
Jack, I don't think Luffy's taking Jack, especially not with Nami.
He wouldn't have even taken a cracker.
Oh yeah, he shouldn't by himself. No,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like that's my point. Is like, because what Jack would have been fighting him for 6 days or so. Like,
Yeah.
the wedding would be over.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Luffy doesn't have the stamina to fight that long, realistically, unless he has help.
Yeah, he can't eat Jack, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat all those
Kinda
punches.
I mean, he's a mammoth. Mammoth stew. Get that stuff cooking.
You think Big
But-
Mom knows Cracker's weakness?
Yeah,
The
of
water,
course.
probably. I mean, it's probably like majority of these people's weaknesses. Like if a cake gets wet, it just starts dripping. Like, I assume it's the same with most of these people. Like,
Why was she
like,
sending Cracker to fight then?
So she probably didn't
probably
think
know about
Nami
Nami.
was there.
Yeah.
Because usually you would think, like, why would you send like your number one commander to go fight someone that's like a pebble, like,
Scrub.
you know what I mean?
Especially with the
Just to
Bigari.
be extra sure that he doesn't get through.
I was just
Makes
about to
sense.
say, man, we already talked about
Nah,
this. Don't
dude.
take
Yeah, I know,
anything
but
for
then it's kind
granted.
of stupid because like if you
It's
send your
how Big
first
Mom
commander,
thinks
for
of it,
example, it's like
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think then, like, again, she doesn't like expect him to do all this shit. Like, I'm pretty
But then
sure in her mind
yeah.
it was gonna be Cracker's gonna
Expect-
fight Luffy, capture him, put him in the cage, and the wedding was gonna happen and whatever. And that was gonna be the end of
Expect
it.
the unexpected.
yeah.
But yeah, the last page, like the other thing's happening really is basically Reiji telling him to like stop being a baby bitch and like go find Luffy. And I hope that's kind of like what like happens, because I'm guessing Luffy's gonna find the bento box or Sanji has it on him. I'm not sure with the meat.
Yeah, it was
and
on the
everything.
floor in a
Yeah, I
previous
think it was
page.
on the floor, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a kitchen nearby or something where they just like catch them and then like he just whips up a meal in the kitchen.
Yeah, because thing is, even if he gets like full, right, it really shouldn't heal him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it
yeah.
probably will because it's shonen.
Hasn't he done that
Shit.
before?
So he
Though?
gets
He
like a
like
super
he put
potion pretty
meat in
much.
his bag or something. He put
Yeah,
meat in his
yeah.
bag and then ate it, and
He
he
ate
was
it,
restored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. But like, it's just so stupid. But like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, it comes down like what's gonna happen in this arc because they're not gonna leave. Like, they're not gonna leave on bad terms. I don't think. Like, they can't escape and leave the Germa. They're gonna have to like tell the Germa and whatnot. And
Yeah.
I think that's when the German. I still think the German's probably gonna come and see Luffy with Sanji or before he gets to Sanji, and they're gonna kind of divulge the plan of what like they heard from Pudding, and that's when
Yeah.
the chaos might start. Because like, even if they go to war with Big Mom, like
They
I really,
shouldn't win, bro.
yeah, it shouldn't even matter. Like Katakuri should just be sent out and it should be done.
I mean,
Because like how strong? Like assuming Ichiji right is the strongest, how strong do you think he is? Because
Yeah, see, we had that discussion, didn't we, about whether he would be able to take out Cracker or something like
like
that.
I think he's a cracker level person,
I
but
think-
I don't think he's higher than that.
Doflamingo once said that there's a million ways to take out somebody stronger than you. So maybe they could do something to that effect.
Like I don't know, cause like I just like I don't know, I just don't see them being able to take down any Yonko. Like it just shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It's like I think that's why I still on the train that like Big Mom's lying, or not Big Mom, Pudding was lying.
I would think she's probably lying, but like again, like into like whatever her plan is that she's using.
I feel like the Yonkos have just been hyped up to a level where it's like they're not even really like they're not like untouchable
Stop it,
guys.
devil leg. Stop.
I'm just hold on.
He's telling the truth.
Okay, so at this point though, like
telling
what does a Yonko have to do right now to really like show the gap of like, this is like where I'm at, this is where you're at.
I mean,
Like, I
Big
like
Mom
that-
herself would have to like destroy the island.
It's not even about Big Mom though. It's about her crew for me.
So like, okay, let's say for example, right now, I know like everyone's saying like how Big Mom would probably be the one to like, let's say if Capone were to die in this arc to her. Okay, what if instead it's gonna be Katakuri that just straight up kills a supernova?
You said what?
I mean, like, that would still make sense, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, because like it would be stupid. It's like, okay, we know a Yonko can kill a supernova for sure, just based on like the feats that we know of them already. But to really show like from where like the Yonko crew, like the commanders and stuff are, they should be able to fight them. They should be able to beat them, no problem.
Yeah.
And I'm going with the number ones, not with like Cracker being like number 3 or 4, but like at least the number 1s and 2s should be able to.
Real quick, I'm just gonna say, since we're kind of like near the end of the chapter, I'm gonna actually start inviting people from the chat. If that's cool with you guys.
Go
We
ahead.
got room.
Yeah,
That's
cool
cool.
We got
with
room
me.
for 3. So, whoever's in the chat, if you guys have the Discord for us, if you want to message me on there, it's CGK123, and then I'll send out 3 invites to the first 3 people.
No Rouge haters, by the way.
And you guys have to talk. Just point out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we
no,
keep you guys.
That's a good idea.
Silent Sam's in here. But yeah, so if you guys want to jump on that Discord and send me the message, I'll throw you guys the invite.
Yep.
It would be so funny if Nikki was coming in with somebody else's profile.
Nikki right now is in the pubs of Jaya.
He's always in the pub.
He really is. After he gets off the tube,
Yeah, this is his first stop. So like after seeing Big Mom's forces right now, like how do you guys feel? Because like I know like everyone always talks about like the rankings of the Yonko and who's stronger and whatnot, like in terms of their crew. Like after seeing all this, like how do you guys feel where she's on the list of the Yonkos?
I mean, she's brought down a bit for me.
I mean,
I think
she's always
she's
been the
third.
weakest Yonko for me.
I think she's third. I think she's stronger than
Yeah,
Kaido.
3rd makes sense
You
probably.
think she's better than Kaido?
Yeah.
Like her crew or herself?
No, like
Wait, so we're ranking Yonko?
everything that makes her a Yonko, yeah. So like her crew, her power, her influence, all of that.
I still think like I feel what you're saying because like I'd assume Kaido because obviously we're on Wano next and like he has to be taken down. Like
Yeah, I think he's gonna be the first one to go down,
Yeah.
and we're going back to her.
like I feel like I have to see Cat Curry because like, I feel that's always like gonna be like the like person that like shows you how strong the actual Yonko is, if that makes sense. Because like that's the closest person or should be the closest person to the Yonko.
Yeah.
Kind of like I was saying with like Ben Beckman, like Shanks, and like how like whoever like Shiryu probably with Blackbeard and whatnot. It's like man, because like, do you think we're even gonna besides Cracker? Do you think we're even gonna get a like full fight? Because even Cracker's fight, I don't think was a full like.
It really
all-out
wasn't
fight.
that.
I think we probably are going to, and if it does happen, it's gonna be like at the wedding.
Like
We're not gonna be at the wedding. We're gonna leave, and then we're gonna get our first full fight at Wano.
Stop.
But what was I gonna say? But yeah, like I don't know. I just feel like it'd be kind of weird to see because there should be no one on this island. I feel like that could fight a second and first seat commander.
It really shouldn't be.
No. Because all those fights should be for Luffy, if anything. I think Luffy and maybe Jimbe, if Jimbe like actually ends up fighting one.
Yeah, like, but do you think Jimbe could even take down like Smoothie? Like, do you think
No.
he's that strong? Because that would make him stronger than Luffy. If he's really gonna join the crew,
No,
that would
he's
make
not that
sense.
strong.
Like, where do you guys see Jimbe? Because I think he's like tied with Sanji and below Zoro. That's how I see him.
I think he's stronger than Zoro.
Is he stronger than Zoro?
I think like right now I'd probably say like a safe bet he's like a little bit, but after Wano that's gonna change.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of dumb. I know like you say like he's a warlord, so like okay, like he has this sense of power and stuff, but it'd be kind of stupid. Like a former warlord is just on the same level as Sanji. So so like Sanji technically should be on the same level as the warlords, which we know that's not true.
Well, I mean,
Not gonna
Sanji's
lie,
stronger
the
than Moria, I
warlord
would say.
status doesn't mean shit to me. Like whenever if someone was to say, "Oh, he's a warlord," it doesn't really mean shit to me.
Right. Yeah, because like I know people bring up the fact that, like he fought Ace, but that's kind of like a rookie Ace. I mean, that's still Ace, but still a rookie Ace.
But
Like-
how long was
A
Ace
rookie Ace
sailing,
was
though,
that
you
man
know?
though.
But think about it. How long was Ace sailing, though? For a couple years? Like, he
Yeah,
fought, what, 2 years ago? You know
I
what I
think
mean?
Because like
He
that
was-
was like when did he get his devil fruit? That's a big thing. Like, do we?
And it's
know?
never been said too. So
Yeah.
like,
And like,
well,
we'll
at least
probably
by the time we met Jimbe, he had the fruits, so it had to be
Yeah.
between that time.
and like so. Well, I was just saying, that side story we're getting right with the like Ace and whatnot. I assume that we'll probably get like more in depth about like when he got through and all that stuff.
It'd be cool to see something along the lines like, let's say, like we're getting the story of like the previous user before Ace, and Ace ended up getting into a fight with him, and he killed him, and then afterwards it moves on the story with him getting the fruits.
That would be interesting.
Because it'd be like a side, like I wouldn't like try to compare it to like Tokyo Ghoul, where like you think you know a character, but it kind of like once you dive into it, it's a whole different person from what you remember. So maybe they could do something like that with Ace, where like, yeah, he probably did kill people that we didn't hear about, and like this is the way of like putting it together.
Yeah, like I know people always talk about, like, especially on Bravo streamers, where Ace is on like the factor list, right? And like I don't know, like where do you guys think Ace ended up being? Like this is kind of sidetracking up what we're talking about, but like how strong do you think he was? Like at his death.
Honestly believe Ace's strength is irrelevant to anything. I don't think I would have thought too much about it.
You think it's just like his character more so was his?
Yeah, because like we didn't really get any fights with him, and it's not like I don't know. It's not like he has like any feats to back up his reputation, other than him fighting Jimbe.
Right.
So I just think he's like just a character in the story.
Black Lake Ozeg, he's in here.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Sup, Ozeg?
I am absolutely drained.
I
hear you.
Yeah, I've been rereading a bunch of One Piece, been rereading Kingdom, and
yeah,
been keeping
See,
up
this is
with the
a good man right
streams,
here.
but I live in Australia, so time zone is messing me up.
It's all good, man. It's all about the dedication.
Yep.
Don't be drained.
But so like I know I think me and Dan were talking about it, and I don't know if whoever watched Brago's stream, because he's in the chat, I'll bring it up now. The other day they were talking about Fujitora.
Oh, dude, stop, no, stop.
And we were here. I won't say who, but we were here in discussion with our friend about it. And like he was on, he was on the train that like Fujitora could get taken down by like Zoro and Luffy.
And that would be it.
And like no, wait, like, who here thinks that's possible, and who?
That's definitely possible.
We're talking
Zoro
like
plus
where
Luffy.
they are right now in the story.
Wait, where they're at right now in the story.
What did you
right
say?
Now.
So Zoro and Luffy, if they were to double team Fujitora, could they do it? If
Oh,
they were
Yeah,
all-
no.
Just stop.
No.
One at a
Virgo has a
time.
better chance.
One at a time. Come on.
So we'll start with we'll start with Jose. We'll go down. We'll just say yes or
I
no.
wonder what his
We'll go
answer is.
I think Virgo has a better chance.
Jose, what do you think?
It's not even a question, really. It's not happening. Not now, and not for a while either.
Yeah.
Maybe post Wano if we see where they are, but even then, it's still up in the air. But right now, it's not a question. It's not happening.
What about you, Double Leg? What do you think?
Yeah, I think Zoro plus Luffy. I think they could take down Fuji.
Okay, what do you think, Laz?
I can't see that happening, man. I see the hype with Zoro and everything, but like Fuji's a whole different animal, man. Like you can't be like saying that shit. Even like Fuji with one arm, I think could still probably beat the two of them.
Nah.
Mars, what do you think?
Right now, no.
Okay, and then Dan, what do you think?
Bro, just no.
And then what?
I mean, I say no, but then it kind of depends on how they play his like devil fruit thing. Because you know how they say he's kind of new with it.
Right.
So if it's like now, if he's still relatively new with it, then they might have a slight chance. But other than that, it's not.
No.
It's gonna be a situation where like you stop the first meteorite, right? But what are you gonna do about the second one?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the third and the
Some
fourth
murderous
and
shit.
bro.
Yeah, some murderous
What are
shit.
you
Go through
doing?
a couple of meteors like butter. They're not.
Instead of the meteorite, it's gonna be the moon.
Come on, man. Keep going down the line. Keep going down the line.
Yeah, Stebo, what do you think?
Ooh. Son, look, listen. He put Law and Zoro on
No,
their back.
Luffy and
On their
Zoro.
backs with no
Luffy.
error. No, listen. He put Law and Zoro on their backs with no effort, right? I don't even think Luffy and Zoro will be able to fight him if he actually put effort into it. If he actually decided to put all them G's on him, I don't think they would be able to do anything.
Get him, Stebo! Get him!
Stebo, what if Luffy had the Jackie Nomi?
It's impossible, honestly, with that fruit.
Then he might be able to throw a zipper on the ground He go through there and he's
Yeah, think about this though. Rouge
No,
someone gets the jacket
certain
jacket
for
food
the
outside.
behind Fuji.
So
Wait,
what do
Lord,
you-
you're fucking turning up in your room right now, man, screaming and shit. Like, what the fuck?
He's looking for slippers. He's looking for slippers.
so what do you think, Uber?
This Fuji,
I don't think they're taking that one.
No, okay. And then I'm obviously no. So okay, so we all agree double leg scene kick. No, okay.
pray.
Yeah, that's a fair
Man's
point.
crazy.
But yes, like the thing with we were arguing with our friend because like he's fully caught up and he's been caught up for a while, and like I do think it kind of comes down how you see it. But in my mind, I think Admirals, even Fuji, if he's the weakest Admiral, because I assume he's probably one of the weaker, like him and.
What?
But no,
How
hear me
did
out.
Darby make the weakest Admiral?
No, hear me out. So Fujitora and Green Bull, right? Compared to Kizaru, because they're less experienced, and so I think they're weaker. But weaker to me is like 5 to 10%. But yeah, so like I really don't think like they could even have a chance in my mind. I don't think
Yeah,
there's even a
because
remote
they're
chance.
fighting an admiral.
Because like if you see what he did with the entire like rubble, or whatever you're gonna call it, from the
Oh,
island,
that was the best
Yeah,
part.
people
when Peter was
downplay that
talking.
too much.
yeah,
Dude,
like, he's gonna take out the Grand Fleet. Like that's basically like even like our friend basically said like okay like if the Grand Fleet like Luffy and Zoro tried to stop it, right? What are they gonna really do? Like even if he King Kong gunned it and like he 3,000
like,
worlds whatever he could.
Jack somehow sank 2 ships, even though Fuji had the gravity and stuff. So I mean,
Yeah, but Jack,
Two ships is not that big of a deal.
when you're a
it
man.
kind of
Are they
is
on
considering
Jack's
you
level?
have gravity.
Other question: are they on Jack's level? That's the other thing to consider. You know what I mean?
The
I don't see
ships
why
that
they
They're
wouldn't.
nowhere near that. So it's like, come on, man.
Like I just like even because in my mind I'm putting in this situation where it's like Gear 4 Luffy right with 20 minutes and then Zoro with Asura for probably 20 minutes or something, right?
Again, something for days, dude.
Yeah, someone that's probably can fight for days because like if Aokiji and Akainu fought for 10 days straight or whatever you want to call it.
When would you go to the bathroom if you're fighting for 10 days?
Wait, so you guys don't
Oh, Dan, look at who's in the chat.
Is he here? Oh yeah.
Peter Colangelo is the one who was telling us, and we're trying to debate him,
Garbage.
and like
Garbage.
I don't know. Actually, I really want to get him in here right now. 'Cause I think
So he can say his argument.
I really want him in here right now.
the Zoro and Luffy.
You want him to have him in the stream?
I'm about to ask him, but I want to know.
Dude, I don't want him to like.
I don't mind. I mean,
I don't
like,
want him to corrupt you guys with his life.
No, I want him to actually tell us because it's one thing like us
He
because
said
all of
he's
us
busy.
here.
He's not really busy. Be quiet, Peter.
Damn.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, James, we can hear you.
Alright.
So what do you think, James? You weren't here yet.
I think that I don't know definitely if they'll win, but I know they can put up a fight for sure. Because we've seen Zoro at least do something to that gravity when he was down there in that hole. I mean, the fact that he went down there was bad enough, but he got his way out. And Luffy in their second and third put up a somewhat of a fight with Fuji.
I think that was low tier gravity though.
Yeah, no. For the thing about that, think about it like this, right? Fujitora, when he did that to Zoro, wasn't even trying, right? Like, imagine if he was putting the same amount of effort into, like, when he called down a meteor, right? Like, it would be like, what he did to Zoro would be like a 1. And what to call down a meteor would be like a 10. You know what I mean? Like, there's a huge gap between trying. Like, Zoro was struggling at the 1, and he's like, what the hell is going on? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to say, bro.
I'll put this Rob poll to see what everyone in the chat says because I
Make
I don't
one
know,
that
like,
says Peter Cray Cray. You know?
yeah, make sure to vote, guys.
but yeah, like I just don't get it, like because I was listening to stream out and like when I hear this stuff right in my mind, I'm instantly like, no, it's not possible. But I do want to hear why people say it is because there might be an off chance that like they say something crazy like that makes sense and like okay maybe. But man, like it kind of comes down like if like someone were to say like I don't know like if Luffy and like the crew could take down some like Blackbeard right now, like I just think there's no chance in hell. But like some people might say otherwise, and it's like I don't know. I just kind of want to see where people are thinking like why. So like Devil Egg, like if it were to happen, because you're like the 1% that says like it's possible, like how would you see it going down? Like how would you see the fight happening that would give them the edge to like have a chance to win?
The thing is, you guys say that thing he did with Zoro was low tier gravity, but I don't think it was low tier gravity. I think it was just like mid gravity.
Yeah.
Because like it like created a hole in the ground. It's not just like casual whatever, right? Like
I mean, a punch in this universe could create a hole in the ground. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not a casual punch. Like Luffy doesn't like punch like a dude and then there's like a hole in the ground like that. So
I mean, I think a casual paddle punch might do, you know. I don't know, man.
It's like I don't know. I just feel like everything that I managed, because I remember we had a couple streams ago, we did a side voyage where we're talking about like devil fruits and like we brought up the gravity and like where we would see it, right? And kind of where I see like the gravity fruit is I see it being like top 5 fruit, and like my thing is I don't like. Do you guys think that like someone needs
what?
Oh, go ahead. What?
Realistically, Fujitora could just send them both to space if he just make
yeah,
the gravity go up.
Realistically, he could.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's just like, I changed my
People
mind.
sleep on gravity.
No, for real. Like that's what we're trying to say. Like he wasn't even doing anything.
Because
That's what we're trying to say.
he was
Like,
fighting.
He
He was fighting Jack in the anime, right? Because like they showed like obviously it's like filler, but it's like probably what would have happened because whatever.
Oh, they actually showed it.
Oh, that's
I-
probably canon.
I imagined that like couldn't he literally just sink Jack's ship with gravity? Like there
Before
should
he
be
even got
nothing he could
close,
do.
you know?
Yeah, there should be nothing he could do.
oh, that's disgusting. Oh shit.
Yeah.
No,
Think
but
about it,
really,
like,
no, but
he can have like
realistically,
he
bro,
can
he
he
shouldn't
can
have been
breathe.
able to do that.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that's
he can breathe underwater, but at the same time, if you're pushing a man down with gravity and you have his face stuck onto the sea floor with the gravity just pressing down onto him, I don't care who you are, you're not surviving that shit.
Yeah.
And
He's
like
the
if
one
you're-
person I wouldn't want to meet if I'm on the ship, especially
No,
if I've got
for
a devil
real.
fruit.
And not to mention, like, they'll put it in this way with the gravity and stuff too, because if he's hitting because the amount of gravity that's coming on, right? Shouldn't that in a way kind of stop him from like being able to breathe at the same time because of how much
Exactly.
he's
Crush
moving
your
and stuff?
lungs,
So like it cuts it off. Yeah, the air source pretty much.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Like his fruit is so hacks.
So why do you guys
Like-
think he's a weak admiral then? He's
No,
like
I'm
belly.
not-
Oh no way!
I
I'm not,
don't, but
I'm not, I
When we
don't
people
say
think
weak
Kobe knew
admiral,
that
we're
he
saying
is.
like he's not like a
He's-
Kainu level.
Like if
You know
you
what
were
I
to
mean?
fight Kizaru right now, right? I
He's
imagine
probably lose.
Kizaru being
He had eyes. He's being Kizaru.
Nah, I don't see him beating Kizaru. I mean,
That's
I
what I'm
see him.
trying to
He's
say.
beating
He's
Kizaru.
weaker
He's
than-
murking Kizaru.
I can see
Oh,
it.
later he is, I think, but not right now. Because
He's
I
murking
imagine
Kizaru,
Kizaru,
man.
Aokiji, and Akainu were roughly tied. And so if they're roughly tied, and they were fighting together like the 10-day thing, I just think that Fujitora being newer, like we said, like new with the fruit and whatever, I just don't think he was there yet. But I do think later in the series when we get to the final war arc, I think he's gonna fight Kizaru or someone like that, and he's gonna win.
Yeah.
But I think
Well,
right
people-
now it's just because like seniority, like Kizaru I think has it.
People keep saying he's new with his fruit. Well, how new is he?
I mean
Yeah,
that's the thing,
that's what I was saying. That was like my deciding factor in that.
Wait, when did it say it was new?
Because I don't think he's too new with his fruit.
I saw it.
So, oh my
He's pulling meteors from space casually. I don't think he's too new with his fruit.
John was saying also in the chat as well, like his morals are holding him back. So like if he was like more of a savage, I would say in like in terms of like Akainu, then like for sure we would see this shit happening.
Oh yeah, like because
You know
the
what?
thing is, if you guys ever seen the 10th movie, I think it was Strong World, right?
Strong will
Yeah.
with shape.
Like hopefully everyone's seen it, but like if you haven't, like close your ears.
It's cool.
But basically with Shiki, right? Like his fruit was levitation and whatever, and float things, and like that's kind of what like Fujitora does with his stuff. And so like what he did there, I could imagine Fujitora should somewhat be able to do as well.
Yeah.
And like I just think like what he showed in the movie, I won't say what it is just for people that haven't seen it yet, but like what he showed was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I get
And
that.
like,
Yeah.
you know how he's floating islands and shit like that, like
Yeah.
like he could drop an island. In my opinion, he could drop an island on like someone like Luffy, and like it should kill.
Drop it on their head, man.
That's
Like,
disgusting.
Luffy's
Shiki's
man,
control
I
over
would
his
kill
devil
him.
fruit was crazy.
But just talking about that, even if he is just like maybe he's got his food for a year or 2 years, it's also depending on the age that you are yourself, how good you can manage your devil fruit.
Right.
the mastering of the training and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's already a quite old person, so it should be easier for him to adapt into the devil fruit.
Didn't
Does it
Shiki
even
make
say how old
a
he is?
mountain-sized lion head?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Not even just that, bro. And like trapping them all in the water and shit. Like,
Yeah, it's
having
just like,
islands floating. Like, come on.
and it does come down how you see like someone like that could use their fruit, right? Because like we've taught, like we bring up the Jack no me, but like Stebo literally brought points that we've never thought of.
Yeah.
And like I feel like the gravity thing is like it's already, in my opinion, it starts off being super hacks, and it just like how
Gets
creative
even
you get with
crazier,
it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, how
even
creative it
crazier.
gets stronger. So, like I don't know, like I just want to touch on that because like there were people that were going back and forth on the chat. And, like, I feel like it was one of those situations where there shouldn't even be a question of whether or not
Like he could one-shot most people. Like when you consider he could literally just create gravity inside of you, and
Yep.
it's just over.
Yep.
Like on
Yeah.
paper, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's not fair. Like, and the fact too is, like, I think with, like, in a way, Oda made him blind for that reason. Because if this guy can see what's going on, like, nobody should be able to survive against this dude.
Well, I mean, he really can see when you think about the observation.
Well, I know he used the observation, but I'm just saying, let's say if he were, like, for example, if Fuji were to fight Kaido, he's sending the motherfucker straight to the sun.
Yeah.
Like, there's no stopping him in that case.
What if Kaido's strong enough to resist the gravity, though?
Just increase the
How
amount
do
of
you
gravity.
how do you resist upward gravity though?
You don't.
If Kaido can do that, then that's even more fucked up.
If he can fly, I wouldn't put it past him.
Yo, I like this one. I like this one that John says on the chat. Like, could Fuji potential pull the moon forward?
That's how.
I
That's how.
don't see why not.
Yeah, that's how. That's why I see Blackbeard honestly doing later. To be quite honest.
That's how Nail's gonna come back.
Wait, wouldn't that kill Fujitora?
Yeah, they kill everyone.
I mean, if he pulled in, he pulled the moon hole in he died.
Everyone dies.
What if he does it in fragments?
I mean, the thing too is there's what, like, I think it's like 5 or 6 planets or something circling the One Piece universe world.
Something like that.
Probably gonna use it eventually to do something like that, or like bring a ship, like, you know.
What if Fujitora is just like the third Raikage? He's like 1 moon, 2 moon, 3 moon.
But yeah, like I don't know. I just thought that was crazy to talk about because, like, that was a situation where I feel like it needed to be shut down. Or, like, there's just no way, like, that. Because even Admiral's right. Like, in my mind, an Admiral, even like someone like Fuji, right? If he was given his fruit by the government or something like that, right? My guess is he had to qualify to be an Admiral and then got his fruit, maybe.
Yeah.
And so, like, even without his fruit, he should still be sick.
Because that's the thing. We don't even know if, like, I mean, I might just be missing out on a point, but if Kizaru already had his fruit, or Akainu already had his fruit when he became an admiral, then, like, that just shows, that just shows how much. So then that just shows the talent of Fujitora to make it to that level and then be given the fruit afterwards.
Yeah, because, like, they even said, like, there's people, like, I think it was Dofi that said, like, there's people, like, still out there that, like, are that level, like, that aren't, you know, known to the world. And, like, it's crazy to think about because, like, if we see people later, because, like, we talked about, like, you know, Big Mom, which I guess we can talk about real quick. We'll probably end the stream in like 22 minutes or so. But like, you know, the wedding, right? How with Lola they were gonna have someone that's basically someone that could take down the Yonkos with Big Mom. Like, I'd assume that someone. I kind of feel like it's gonna be someone new now. Like, after, like, kind of reading it a couple times, I feel like it's someone that's gonna, like, be maybe we've heard of before, kind of like the Giant King, but someone that we haven't seen or know their name.
See, I don't think it was like a singular person that was going to be like just soloing the Yonkos. I think it was like an army that was like really strong that would have helped her with her plus her powers.
Kind of like what she wants with the Innsmouks, isn't it?
It's like, who do you guys think? Because I know we talked about before, but, like, after, like, seeing these last couple chapters, like, who do you guys think it could be that would be someone that could take that back?
I don't feel like we have enough information to make an accurate guess, so I'll just say nothing. Oh no,
that's a capo.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Who's the person that Big Mom would have married off to Lola? Like,
it makes sense. The Elbaf King, like,
because, like,
from what we know, the Giants is the most logical answer to that question. Other than that, could be someone completely new, which I wouldn't mind because I love new characters.
You said it might be the D family, which would be kind of interesting, to be quite honest. I think that would be crazy because there are D's out there, like Portuguese. I can't say it. Ace's mom.
Portuguese.
With a, like, another D, and, like, I'd assume there's a, you know, the Waterloo family, so Law's family was a D family. So I assume we're gonna get way more, like, D's later, and that would be crazy if it was someone like that. Which you would think though that, like, Dragon would know about these people and he'd try to recruit them. Like, that's kind of how I see it. Like, because he
probably is recruiting them.
Yeah, because, like, I assume they were
maybe already been recruited that we don't know.
The betting guy from the Grand Tesoro.
Max Ray's the best dude. Yo, he needs to be canon. Like, oh
yeah.
Has everyone here seen Film Gold?
No,
I've seen it.
Not everyone.
Yeah, well, don't go too much.
Try to refrain from the spoilers.
When you see this person, you'll know he's the best.
It's great. But, it wasn't what I was expecting at all. but I enjoyed it thoroughly.
But yeah, like I'm just trying to think. Well, like, how strong do you guys think that like the giant faction is? Like, if you were to like compare them to another faction, like like say like the Marines or like the Revolutionaries or like
Not
the
that
Yonko.
strong.
I think they would probably have to be strong if they came from the New World, because it'd be kind of dumb. It's like if they weren't, then they would probably been back in like paradise. You know what I mean?
I think they're
'Cause
strong, but I think also they are a little bit overrated.
I think they're very strong.
I
imagine they're
kind of
strong, but
what
low
we've
in
seen with the Marines, maybe, because like what's going on with like the giants that they have, but like
I mean,
this is gonna be like the pure giants, like the actual like what we've heard about for so long. These are the guys. When we get to Elbap,
Well, I
we'll
mean-
see truly what they're like.
Broggy and Dory were giants, and they were good, but they weren't like super impressive. I don't think the giants are like this.
Because the way I look at it, it's like
amazing.
why would it's like again like with anything, right? It's like why show off the best thing you have so early on, right? I feel like this is gonna be built up to when we get to Elbaf, we're gonna see like where these guys really rank up.
Real
I
quick,
think there will be strong giants. I don't think all the giants are strong.
with the Dory and Broggy thing, remember
They had 100 military bounties, and that's pretty early on in the story as well. And they were on the island for who knows how long, away
like
from
50
everything.
years or something like that.
It was 50
They essentially weren't active pirates at the time. So
Yeah.
But do you guys remember what they did to that? Remember the catfish or where it was at the end?
the
The
goldfish,
giant goldfish.
That
Giant
ate
goldfish.
island. That ate
Yeah, Zoro
island.
can do that now, though.
That
I mean-
goldfish eats islands.
But like,
think
I'm
so?
saying like early on, right? What they did, like the combo attack, and they ripped it in half. Like that's a like if you think about like who's tanking that almost. like I'd
At
say
that time in the story, that was unprecedented.
yeah, like that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like that's if that's like a random giant, like they're not like named giants in a sense, like they're not like well known or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like if that's like the average for a giant, right? And they could do that. Could you imagine like like Harden, who has like
Giant
5
king.
of them?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say what Moose was saying in the chat too, because like for Harden wanted to be like the future like a giant king, so there should be no way that like the actual current king should be on the same tier as like the Yonko. If someone like Harjuang wanted to be on that level, you know what I mean?
But I mean, like giant king, like Luffy wanted to be the pirate king. Look how weak he was early on.
Yeah.
Because I'm still like, I know people will laugh at it, but I'm still on the fact that like when Usopp gets to Elbap, because that's gonna be his arc, that like all those giants that like Dory, Broggy,
They're
Omo,
gonna worship him.
they're gonna work for him.
Of
And Harden's gonna be like, I have to choose, because you remember Game of Thrones, right? So spoilers for everyone. When I can't think of
What
his name.
season? What season?
I can't remember. Someone can probably help me out with this. The Spanish guy, I can't remember his name.
the swordsman.
Yeah, that has to fight the mountain, right?
That's
Like,
Oh, you talking about Oberyn?
Yeah, but you remember how like in those fights,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the duels to the death, you can choose a person to fight, right?
Yeah, you
Your
can choose
champion.
champion.
Yes.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
gonna choose Usopp.
Yeah, they're gonna choose Usopp. It's gonna be so funny because it's gonna be Usopp versus a giant probably. That or it'd be funny is if Buggy's there and they try to fight Buggy like on the other side. But yeah, like I really think Usopp's gonna like be the guy who becomes like at least like the champion for Harden, if not the actual giant king in name.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be so funny when it happens because like it's just what Usopp does. But like yeah, like if those were the average and like look at Harden did to Mach Vice, because what was it like 100 like tons or something like that or something crazy? It's like a crazy amount.
It was 100 million.
Wait, what's
Yeah.
that?
No,
I was gonna say,
it
like,
wasn't.
it's way too much. But, like what? Like,
It was,
whatever is
it was 100 million tons.
No.
I swear it was.
But like,
Yeah, like,
even-
I swear it was.
even with, like,
He's
It's
like
time to
that
fact
place.
I think it's like 10,000, but like, let's just say it's like 10,000, right? Tons.
Yeah.
And
That might be the
Harden,
manga pan translation. Never mind.
and Harden punched that, punched it to the top of the birdcage. Yeah.
Mine won't be much better.
The Giants are pretty crazy in physical strength, at least. And like,
Yeah.
could you imagine if someone
They
like
should
that
be-
had like a double fruit like Luffy's or like Aces? How
Oh,
sick
that's
they would be?
disgusting. Oh, that's disgusting.
a Logia giant.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Just the thought just popped into my head.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
like or even like a
Chapter
Zoan.
770. The Lance of Elbaf.
Because I would assume we're gonna see at least a couple giants like with double fruits. Because in the filler arc for the film Z, right, the episode of Z, we saw Pan, who was a female giant who had the shrink fruit.
Yeah.
And she could drink herself. So like I assume we're gonna see actual canon giants.
Oh, it's 100,000.
100,000. Yeah. See exactly though. Like
Oh, 100,000 tons.
yeah, like that's ridiculous. If you really, because if
That's
what
still impressive.
Zoro's like doing what 1,080 pound, like
Yeah.
cuts. It's like when you calculate how like strong that really is, like man, that's fucking crazy. Anything else? We got 15 minutes or so left. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Oh, and then he increased it to 1 million tons.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Hadrian just lifted up 1 million tons. You know?
Yeah.
God.
But well, here I guess we can talk about this real quick. Just side note. What do you guys like want? Like, what do you guys want to see going into Wano at the beginning?
I just want to see
Like how it starts off.
Yeah, like, how do you want to get to there? Because like I want to get to there, and I kind of want to see like everything completely chaotic.
Listen, I just have 2 requirements for Wano. I just want all the straw hats together.
I want Zoro to take an L.
No, Zoro doesn't have to take an L.
He needs to take an L.
Nah,
Wait, what was the rest of your list?
I just want the straws together, and I just want good fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I think I want to see like. Oh, what'd you say?
I think they're gonna split up in Wano again.
I hope they don't. I'm sick of seeing them split up.
No, because the thing is, Kaido means I already said it in the offline. It's like it's a road, and there are 5 roads, main roads in the real Endo years, and those lead to the capital city, and the capital city will be the city where Kaido will be staying, and the 5 cities around that will be where the 5 shoguns, or what is it, shoguns, or what is it, the names of the daimyos. So probably they have to fight the 5 daimyos or something like that before they will reach to Kaido.
So some small like little like thing I was looking at because I was rewatching the episode, like the latest one, right? And you know, like the Kozuki family crest, right? I just know something. It's just a small thing, but like if you look at like it forms like a swan and whatnot, but there's 8 little like talons or feathers or whatever you want to call it, like lines going out, so 4 on each side, and then there's 8 dots in the middle. I don't know if that like the number 8 has anything to do with like something we'll see in the Kozuki family specifically. Like there's something random I kind of noticed with it, because like usually the small things are like what Oda kind of hints at, and then later it's like becomes somewhat relevant.
Everything, yeah.
And I mean, if I have to go like the craziness of how like Wano could probably start off with like
you're like
mad lad.
Oda got him.
My ear.
Toxic got you.
But
this guy, like, he's the ultimate troll, I swear to God.
So why my voice didn't get shredded when he hit the barricade?
Yeah, which is stupid, but you know, Oda. Like one thing I want to see, one thing I want to see is I want to see more ninjas, like actual cool looking ninjas, and I want to see like female like samurais and female ninjas and stuff like that. But I want to see the
Kunoichi.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see the like current leaders of each of the daimyos, like for sure, like at least in the arc. Like, and I want them to be relevant. I don't want them to be spandom characters. Yeah. Because like they should, like in my opinion, everyone should be something like the Minks, where like all the kids were trained like to be the top tier like samurais or ninjas from birth. Like, there should be no fodder per se. Like they should.
I mean, Kanjuro is fodder, so we already know there's fodder.
Wait, what'd you say?
Isn't Kanjuro fodder?
I don't
no, you're
nah, man, he's hiding.
He's literally trusted to protect Momo.
Yep.
You know what I mean? One of the daimyo's sons, like, dude, there's no way he's fodder. He hasn't been.
The one thing I want to see, like the one like big no about Wano for me, I just don't want to see any people being downplayed again. Like I don't want none of that cracker business to happen all over again. That was just bullshit.
Yeah, like it should be a fight to the death. Like if they send a calamity or whatever, right? Like there should be no holding back. Like they should be there to kill these people.
Yeah. Like, so many times it's been said, a fight between pirates is a fight to the death. Yeah, we've seen none of that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want. Like I'm sick of people holding back. Just go all out for once.
Yeah, but also no. But listen, Fishing. Is it not also like that? Pirates fight on the sea. How many we saw
exactly
on the sea?
Exactly. Like what happened to, like I swear Luffy spent money on a cannon, right? They have never used that cannon.
Yeah.
They have never once.
I would hate to see it turn into a comic kill where niggas just drop left and right.
Yeah, like don't be killing off the main crew left, right, and center. But I mean, at least give us the sense of danger.
Peckham is totally dead. Because Jimbe came back and he hasn't been back. So
I
forgot all about
He's
Peckham.
chilling with
I think
Aladdin.
Aladdin grabbed him. Yeah, I
He's
think
chilling with
Aladdin had him.
Aladdin.
Where's Caesar? I forgot about him
This
too.
Oda really wasn't hidden the whole time, and that was Peckham's death.
That could be what Jinbei was gonna like tell her to like live. But yeah, like with Wano, like I want to see like really good one-on-one fights again. Like I want to see like Alabasta style fights where like if you lose,
trying all out. Yep.
yeah. And like, cause I was like, that was my favorite Zoro fight I think so far in the series.
The
I'm
Mr.
glad we're
One
gonna
one?
get one on
Yeah,
one.
Mr. One.
Are we gonna get Gear 5?
See, Gear
Yeah,
5th, like, do you guys, side note, like, do you guys think it's gonna be his awakening, or do you think it's gonna be something separate from this awakening?
I think
I
it would be
think-
something separate.
I think it basically like, you know how all of his gears do something different. I think like he's gonna have his awakening, but I think the Gear 5th is gonna fully utilize that awakening.
That's kind of how I see it too.
I feel like
kinda
Gear
don't
5th
want
is going to be Tiny Luffy.
But he keeps all the punching power.
Yeah.
What, like Ant-Man Luffy?
Yeah.
It's condensed.
It's going to be Tiny Luffy.
All
Like
that power
he's going to be
one
real
piece.
compact. He's going to be extremely fast, yet extremely powerful because his rubber is going to be so condensed.
Okay.
But yeah, like I want to see something crazy with Gear 5th. Like I still think it's gonna be somewhere where like he turns everything around him into like a moon bounce. You guys know what those are?
I don't want a Gear 5th. Because I don't want it to turn into Dragon Ball Z where there's always like a new power up. I feel like Gear 4 should be it, and you should just train that.
I feel there's gonna be something
Yeah,
above
but
it.
it's
So.
Luffy though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to like do this like okay, Gear 5th, like and then like next island Gear 6, and it's like come on.
I think Gear 5th needs to be the end. Like once the awakening, like because I feel like Gear 5th is going to be something that isn't possible without an awakening. So once he gets that, then I think that's the cap.
Because you see in Gear 4, you see already like the signs on his chest from the devil fruit.
Right.
So I say it's like he's maybe like 20% now of his awakening. And like in Gear 5th, it's going to be almost like 100. That his whole body is covered in his style of his devil fruit.
The way I see it, it don't matter how many forms they got to me, as long as they make sense and they all do something different.
I kind of feel like Gear 5th won't even be awakened. I feel like he already has Gear 5th planned out from the time skip, and it's more like hockey based, something that Rayleigh was trying to show him.
So you think it's just specific with hockey?
Yeah, or maybe not even. Maybe his new power up to Defeat Kaido won't even be considered a gear because gear is more devil fruit, and he has a different thing that Rayleigh showed him that doesn't really take a toll on his body, like Rayleigh would say.
Okay. Like another thing too, is who here thinks that like we're gonna get like awakened hockey? Because I kind of feel like that's gonna be like the next thing.
Yeah, that sounds stupid. I'm not gonna lie.
Fuck you.
You gotta believe harder.
But because I feel like
we're gonna have to
Listen,
have
Devil
something
Fruit's
to make it
awakening.
relevant again, because like
right, that's kind of how I
like there
feel.
has to be a reason why some people's haki, for example, NL's observation is like god tiers above everybody else's. Like maybe it's like low-key awakened observation. Like, because there has to be a reason why Shanks is still at the top of the game without a devil fruit, even though devil fruits have awakenings, they got forms, all of that
I
shit.
mean,
Like,
look
there
at
has to be
Zoro
something.
and Mihawk. They don't have those, but they're pretty much top tier.
I mean,
Zoro's nowhere near top tier.
Yeah.
Did I say
But
Zoro?
we don't know what Mihawk's haki is like, though. We don't know what like, for example, he could have that awakened haki that we just spoke of.
All right.
I think Mihawk got something else.
Because I feel like we're gonna see
What do you think
these,
as well?
I think demons,
Like,
whether
like you know how we see all these different stuff. I guess we could save that for another video.
but like I think like demons are gonna become a thing, like for like everyone. Because like Hakuma, yeah, I think that's gonna be a big factor for like Zoro getting a power up and whatnot. Which he might even already have it, obviously, because like we know he has awesome and stuff with that. But I feel like the Shogun and stuff like that, and all demons, like at least cursed swords, are gonna have it. I think Kalina, if she's there, is gonna have one. Because like I know Kenichi reference, like you know, like how they have the dough users, right?
They're not gonna know.
I know, but I'm telling
Oh,
you.
I haven't read that in so long.
Oh wait, someone! Oh my, who was that? Who was that?
Blackleg, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, we got one.
I read it a couple of years back, and
Bro, that
I
shit
enjoyed
is
it.
so good.
But what I was gonna basically reference was the fact that there's like dough users, which are like the all out like angry type users, or like rage users, right? And then there's the Psy users who are basically the like calm users and whatnot. And they mentioned that dough users are basically following the path of Asura, which is obviously what Zoro has. So I kind of want to see something linked to that later. Is like we have like 2 different types of like specific swordsmen maybe with demons. Because I think like obviously like Do user would probably be or Zoro, and then Sai user would be like Kuina. So that's I don't know. That's kind of how I want to see the story go. Because I feel like Zoro and Sanji do need things. Like the exoskeleton is going to probably be a buff for Sanji, whether or not he has it now when he gets it, or however that's going to work. And then Zoro having a demon will probably be like what like evens out the devil fruit aspects for Luffy.
I'm not really like a fan of the power up method. I'd rather they just get stronger. But I mean, I guess.
Yeah, Luffy needs to improve his base form. That's one thing I hate as well. Like his base form's kind of trash, man.
It's fodder at this point.
Yeah, it literally is.
I mean, it's not opera level.
Justin with the like regulate.
Laz, are you talking? Because I can't hear you.
Yeah, Laz is not talking. He's gone. The demons got him. But yeah, like I don't know, like Wano, like I have so much hope for Wano. Like I think Wano to me, like where I expect it to be will be like Enies Lobby, like pre-time skip level, where it's like the best arc for a long time. Until like, probably the last arc.
You guys hear me now or no?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Thank
we
God.
did.
I got taken out by Kaido, but
Condos.
Kondo, yes, my bad.
Condoriana.
No, but I was gonna say from before, like when I was trying to explain the whole thing before I was cut off. In regards to like what's going on with Zoro and like when we get to Wano, do you think like when we get there, you think he probably has all the people of Wano kind of like lined up, like really ready to fight with them because they probably know who he is?
I think Zoro should be the one to like obviously like, Zoro did say he's gonna like rope them up and whatever and like drag them into it. So
Yeah.
I think Zoro should like show his strength and like convince them to join up. But I do think the Shisui thing is gonna be a big factor.
Yeah.
I
mean, because do you think there's a relation between him and Ryuma, maybe?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. There's something there. No way there's not. That's how I see it.
And if it is a relation, where do you see Ryuma being like a great grandfather? Like,
I still think that Ryuma was one of the Joy Boy Kingdom's like vessels or whatever you want to call it, kind of like kingdom style, where like he was like a member, like he was the original like crew member of that group.
yeah,
And I think Zoro's related because I'm on that boat where like all of the Straw Hats are like distant ancestors of like someone that was on Joy Boy's like main group.
yeah.
It's just like a reincarnation of that. So I don't know about anyone else that wants to talk about Ryuma.
I mean, there's so much we need to know still about Ryuma. Just like I think like when we saw the fight between him and Zoro, just the little subtleties that we had with it, and like they wanted to tease that there might be more to that, and especially like with the like brought up of like Wano and stuff. Right, I really feel like once we get into it, that's where like most of those things we wanted to know back at Thriller Bark, and especially in Punk Hazard when it was like talked about a bit more. That's really where it's gonna like explain after more about Zoro. But like I like the idea like he potentially like I don't know if you guys have heard this idea, but like of him potentially being like kind of similar to like King Piccolo Jr., where like he was born like through an egg from someone else if he was a demon.
Oh, like he's the actual Ryuma just reincarnated?
Yeah. So like I know like the
I've
crackpot
heard that
theory be like
before.
you know how like on Gold Roger's ship how there's that egg that's there, right? Kind of made almost like similar like whatever the demons from like his clan were originating from those eggs and hatched out to be the demon.
Yeah, like I know we talked about that on one of those. I think it was like offline streams. And I'm still like on the boat that like that egg's gonna be something relative to Wano, whether it be Kaido that was born from it, or like someone like Zoro, which would be crazy. But I think it's gonna be something.
Guys, I want you to know that was Tamago.
Because that would be crazy. Because I'm thinking if Zoro was actually like of a demon lineage clan, like Kaido, right? So that means like would they have some kind of ties, or they just have like the affiliation of being a demon?
I think they probably have like some ties. Like I won't say what it is, but like the film Gold, obviously it's not canon, but like there are things Oda's like talks about on it, and the part like the near the end with Zoro, what he does, and he's like, "Let me hear you scream" and stuff like that. Like that's become a more so thing in the new world. Like as like all this like demonic things and fate and Buddhism, like it's become like a big part of him, more so than was pre-time skip. So I think there's something there with the demons and everything.
Yeah.
So any last thoughts you guys want to talk about either on the chapter or what we were talking about so far? Probably end the stream here.
I just want to say that Big Mom's crew is trash, and probably means Bobbins is trash too.
Hound is the god of the verse. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, and I want to say probably Zoro will have Conqueror's Haki in Wano.
Who needs
Who?
Zoro? Yeah, I think Zoro has
Uh,
some conquerors.
I would like to see it, but like I don't know if I would want to see it because there was
I'm
like
still
so many
mixed on that, honestly.
like so many things, right? Let's say he's a potential demon, he's a master swordsman. Like I don't want him to turn like Ichigo. If that makes any
Get
sense.
the visor mask.
I mean, Ichigo had everything. That was a
You know?
bloody. I haven't read Bleach
Yeah,
either.
he's
But
originally
Shinigami,
from,
Mum's a
like,
Quincy, has hollow powers. He just got everything by the end of the story. It got ridiculous.
the D, like you know, I don't want him to be like the Ichigo of our verse.
Oh, you're a Shinigami.
No.
What's that?
I know what you're saying, Les, but he has to get Conqueror's Haki.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want it to make sense though, like that why he has it. I just don't want it to like throw like everyone like obviously like when you go into the new world, everyone's gonna have like King's Haki, like whoever you meet. Like exactly. So I don't want it to like this guy's gonna have King's Haki. Like, you know, I want like the way it's gonna be built up to actually like make sense, like logically.
If he fights the
Yeah,
Shogun,
yeah, yeah.
I think he'll probably show it there because I think the Shogun should have conquerors Haki.
I
'Cause if
believe so too. Yeah, you should.
If Zoro wants to be the strongest swordsman, I feel like that's a goal, and I feel like the higher your goal is and the higher your willpower is, the better your Haki is for specifically for King's Haki.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I'll end the stream here if no one else has anything to say.
For you guys who, of
I
course, have
have
been here for the
nothing to
last 2+ hours, I think we've been here. I appreciate the support again. We got 37 people right now watching, 21 likes only. I mean, like, if we got 37 people up in here, I should be seeing 37 likes. I'm just saying.
What is y'all doing?
I appreciate it.
Say him
I
last.
appreciate it. No, you guys know I'm playing. I appreciate the love. Of course. Like, see, the likes are going up.
I'm
I said
not.
that. Nice.
I'm not playing. I'm a thug about mine.
Jack of the crew. And of course, yeah, like Double Leg just said in the chat, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new here. And hopefully with yeah, you guys are hating right now. Come on.
But yeah, last word.
Oh, dislike.
We're gonna be doing a stream tomorrow. We'll figure out the time. We'll post it. It'll be a side Voyage stream tomorrow, and then if the chapter comes out, hopefully it should for Kingdom. We'll do a Kingdom stream on the arcs that we're getting caught up to on Sunday. And as you see, we have like guests like James, Black Lake, and Uber, and we're gonna try to do that a little bit more. We usually have about 7+ of us though, so like if there's ever room, we'll try to get some more of you guys in the chat inside here and kind of like rotate it around, get your guys' opinions. So I'm gonna end the stream now though. So thanks for coming and spam the like button and tell Brago, baby back fight.
Wow, we're four dislikes.
Out of heaven.
Yeah, you trolls. Disperse.
Yeah.